and I will forever be with you. A lot of people don't know, but most of my morals, I develop it in the SDA church. I really don't know where I would have been today if I had not been an Adventist. But we give thanks. I hope you are here to uplift yourself, both spiritually and also you fraternize with each other. You live here, you depart here with a lot of knowledge, I believe. But I'm here for you. I always say to myself that whenever I meet the youth, especially the Adventist youth, there must be a big impact. And what impact are we talking about? I'm here to share with you. Let me ask you a question. Do you like money? Do you like money? But Jesus is coming again. What do you want money for? Jesus is coming. We don't know the hour or the minute he will be coming. Why do you need money? We don't know that he's coming tonight. Or we don't know he's coming tomorrow. But you want to make money, right? We have a million questions to ask ourselves. Why are we in this world? How do we create impact, a meaningful impact? How do we share? How do we be in the SDA church and create wealth and still be righteous? As the Bible said that it takes a rich man, I can't remember the verse, a difficult task to get to heaven than a camel passing through the eye of a needle. Have you thought about that? You've thought about that? We have to give thanks. I'm here to share with you. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to share with you the world you face out there after you finish school, you finish whatever you want to do, but you have to be more purposeful, meaningful in this world of struggle. As I said, I'm here for us to share some few things. I wish, instead of me telling you what I want to tell you, I wish you rather ask me questions. I would prefer you ask me questions. Which one will you prefer? Should we talk, or I stop, sit? Those who want to ask me questions, ask me questions. Then we judge all. Well, I'm here for us to talk, right? This is your program. This is not my program. Whenever I meet the Adventist youth, we talk. You have too many questions going on in your head. Too many questions. So you ask me, maybe I'm going to talk nonsense, right? But you have to ask me questions. Let me share some few things with you. God is good. First of all, I want you to know that I'm very happy to be here. I also like sessions like this. It makes me very happy because it makes me remember those days when we have to go to youth camps, camp meetings. I learned a lot from that. How many people have read my book? How many of you have read my book? Only 2 people. Okay, I'll give you 200 copies. I'll give it to your leadership to share with you. And whenever I see you, I want to talk freely. Oh, thank you. I told you I don't want to give a lecture. But that was the same, thank you. How many of you believe that you have a job immediately you graduate from school? How many of you believe that you would want to travel outside this place immediately you graduate from school? How many of you are guaranteed that after you graduate from school, you'll get a good paid job, have a family? How many of you know that you are sitting on something guaranteed for yourself, for the future? How many of you? Now, how many of you think right now it might take a while to get something solid doing? How many of you are afraid of tomorrow? How many of you are scared that after school you are lost? How many of you? You wake up and you feel the reality. There's something called reality. Some of you are lucky. You are blessed. Your parents paying your school fees. You have good Adventist parents. Adventist parents are very responsible. Some of you are not having Adventist parents, but you are responsible parents. So you are guaranteed that after school you have somewhere going. I don't believe that many of you after university you would want to still stay in your father's or your mother's house. How many of you want to build a career? How many of you want to create something for yourself? How many of you? Because I believe that the richest men in the world are men with solutions. These men find solutions to problems. How many of you still won't believe that tomorrow is dark? That's right, there is a reality facing all of us. I want us to talk a little about the job market, which I really don't want to do. Now the world is changing so fast. We are talking about artificial intelligence, automation, new technologies are taking over our jobs. Where are we to go? So many calamities, so many problems are happening in the world. What are we Are you looking for somewhere to have your job? You might wait a longer time. The truth is, we are moving from the job age to the skill age. Employers today don't just want degrees. They want who can solve their problems. I remember when I was in school, this morning I was telling my son that I was a very good science student when I was in school. But out of necessity, I found myself in shipping and logistics. At that time, I was in the SDA church as a youth. Every Sabbath morning, I was a deacon and a youth leader. Every Friday, we have to go and clean the church. At that point, we were worshiping in a school block. So we have to pack all the chairs out after Sabbath. Then Friday, we go clean the church, arrange the church nicely. I like white shirt. I put on my white shirt. Then we clean the church for Sabbath school. I was a Sabbath school teacher. After that, divine service. I was a messenger. I started my career not being the best science student that I used to be. I was in my school. I was representing my school for science quiz, science and math quiz. But life was so hard that I have to veer off to start doing business. So I dropped science because in my days, if I decide to do science, I need to finish university before I can get a job. But if I start doing business, those days we call it bookkeeping. O-level, you can have somebody keep you as a cashier somewhere. Those days, university was a privilege. If you have O-level, A-level, it's a very good degree to have. So I went into logistics out of necessity because those days I ate once a day. If I eat twice a day, the following day I wouldn't get food to eat. I have been a driver's mate before. I've been a pupil teacher before. I've been a construction laborer before. I have been somebody's houseboy before. Those days, I also worked at Advent Press. I was a cleaner in the press. Those who know Advent Press. And I was moved to the dispatch unit. When they finished printing, we put the books in boxes and we dispatched the books. These were the jobs I was doing. But I don't know where God's blessing came from. By the age of 28 years, I made my first $1 million. How it happened, I can't say it all, but I was quite disciplined. The attitude was one thing I didn't joke with. I followed all the right attitude, prim and proper, but I was a fighter. I went to Saito school, a hustler and a fighter. Before I joined the Adventist school, I fight for my colleagues and they pay me. You see how God blessing is good? You come and hire me because I don't have what to eat. You come and hire me, I'll go and fight your fight for you. Then you pay me, then I'll buy food to eat. I grew up from the seaside, Labadi. So I was a fighter. But the Adventist church taught me how to be humble, how to work with integrity, how to lead, how to be righteous. But at the same time, I was hungry for success. Being an Adventist youth doesn't mean you should wait for Christ before you become hungry for success. Being an Adventist youth, you are the best. You have the best kind of training. You have to fight to be at the top with your integrity. Being an Adventist youth, you have something special that your colleagues don't have. Right from birth, you're already special to be an Adventist youth because your moral standards are above the normal. That is how lucky you are right now. God bless you. You are making the biggest mistake of your life, or you are making history. When you succeed, you have made history. When you fail, it's a big mistake. So where do you stand? 90% of the people in your life will tell you you're wrong. You can't. No, you are wrong. They tell you you can't do it. So you wake up every morning, the echo, I can't, is difficult. I can't, is difficult. I can't, is difficult. I can't, is difficult. So you grow up as an Adventist youth being normal. But let me tell you one thing today. If you want to be normal, you can never be successful. Do you believe that? Successful people are not normal people. You can never be normal. You can never be successful if you are normal. What are some of the abnormalities? You have to do everything extra. At times you are with friends out of your discipline. They shun you. While everybody is sleeping, you wake up 3 a.m., cracking your brains. Whilst everybody is working 6 hours a day, you alone, you are working 16 hours a day. Whilst everybody says, okay, let's stop, you say, no, it's not okay, let me go on. Whilst nobody is fighting to make a change, you alone, you are making that change. So you become a very abnormal person. But yet, you are disciplined. I always say that when you want to be very successful, 70% of your success is your attitude. 25% of your success is your skill. 5% of your success is the knowledge you acquire. So you see, the trick, if you want to be very successful, it's all about your attitude. The attitude is when your friends are sleeping, you are up. The attitude is when nobody is taking the bull by the horn and said, I can do it. So you grow up having this attitude of, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Whilst everybody is saying it's impossible, but you say it's possible. I remember when I was young, I had a job as a laborer as a construction site. In the Adventist church, I have very good 3 friends. Most of my friends, the first friend said, oh, I said, let's go and work and make some money. At the same time, we school and study. The first person said, if I start working, my father will stop giving me money. The second person said, the job is too low. I cannot go and be a laborer, a construction laborer. The third person said, do you want my girlfriend to laugh at me because I'm a construction laborer? 3 friends. Today, where do I stand? And where are they standing? There was no mobile phone in my time. In my time, I grew up to meet pager. The time we started paging, I was in the Polytechnic. So if I had to go to work on my motorbike, I need to do something, they will page me. I'll get to a phone place and make a call. Then we came to Mobitel. From Mobitel, if you see the size of the phone, Nokia something 1, something 10, if you see the size, then we move on. Right now, AI. They say something called ChatGTP. So I can tell you that you are closer to wealth than in our days. Now you can make money. Those days, even if you want to do business, you have to go and have a shop and all that. You can have a whole virtual shop, on Instagram. You can do whatever. Those days, in my days, I can gather all the children in my area and teach them mathematics. But now you can just small WhatsApp and teach people and make some good money. So now you can make money faster. You can be richer faster than in my days. So you see how lucky you are? This is how fast the word had grown, and I brought you closer. I can share my life story with you, and you will realize that you stand at an advantage position than me. All I want to do, I want to give every Adventist youth my shoulder. Immediately I give you my shoulder, you stand on my shoulder, you become taller than me. So you see the secret here. If you become taller than me, you see that tomorrow that I wouldn't be able to see. So you become bigger than me. Immediately you stand on my shoulder, you become taller than me. That is the secret. So in your days, 70% of whatever you do should be your attitude. In wealth creation, wherever you want to do, the attitude, it should be 70%. 25% is the skill. 5% is your knowledge. So never joke with the attitude you grew up. So now, I think it's about 15 minutes. Can we talk? Who is the moderator? Let me put the moderator here. I just want us to talk. How many people want to ask me any question at all? Because I don't know what you are thinking about. Come in.
You quoted something from Matthew chapter 19, verse 23 to 24, that it is very difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. So I want to ask you, as obviously you are a rich man, how does that affect you, or how are you experiencing that?
This boy, this is a temptation question, huh? You know, that's a very good question. I am not rich yet. I haven't really reached half of my real potential. I haven't. I say that, you see, the opportunities out there. I'm in the aviation industry, right? If I want to say I am rich in the aviation industry, I should have about 100 cargo planes, 50 private jets. That is my ambition. I'm into logistics. I have only 2 vessels, 2 shipping vessels, right? And some trucks. And I'm operating from 2,400 ports. Is that what I want? No. I have a salt mine, my salt mine. I want to ramp up to produce 12 million metric tons. That's the capacity of the mine. I'm only doing less than 1 million metric tons. How do I call myself rich? It's hard work. I haven't reached there yet. But let me ask you a question. I don't call myself rich, but when you have some advantage in your resources, the temptation is bigger. It's bigger in the sense that as you grow, your service for God goes down if you are not careful, if you are not a pastor. The pastors is their job. I was just a commoner. The highest I went in serving God has been a deacon. But I know one day I'll be an evangelist in my retirement. So when you have extra resources, I'm telling you from experience, you travel across the world, you sit on your private jet, you meet people, they are drinking whiskey. You see the women, the Brazilian, all over, you're all over the world. You belong to, you meet them. The temptation is great. You have no idea. When you are poor, you pray a lot. When you are poor, you pray. When you have money, you become busy. That is the reality of life. But one thing I can admonish you today, never forget the Adventist God. Never forget the Adventist God. The God factor that's got into your life before you became somehow wealthy. The God factor that you stood on that blessed you to reach where you are. Never forget that. But it is very difficult to have resources and pray. But you don't have to stop praying, because the evil is waiting for you out there. Have I answered your question? So you see how difficult it is. Your question is tricky. If I don't answer it well, you get me. Very tricky question. Okay, any other question?
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time and for your words. So, you said when it comes to success, 70% is attitude. And my question is, how do you build the right attitude for success? Because for some people, maybe circumstances push them to learn the attitude, but for some of us, we didn't have any circumstances that pushes us to do that. So how are we able to build that attitude for success? That's my question.
Circumstances can make you and not make you. It doesn't give you the right attitude. Your circumstance can make you or unmake you. I don't want to believe that any one of you here know or don't know when you are wrong. I don't want to believe that any one of you here don't know that if you sleep till the sun rises and sets, it's the wrong attitude. I don't want to believe that if any one of you here is disrespectful, you don't know that you are being disrespectful. I don't want to believe that. But when we talk about the right attitude, right, it depends on where you find yourself. But the right attitude are basis. You know that when you wake up, you have to go on your knees and pray before you set off. You know that when there is money to make, you can pray in your heart and go and make that money, right? You know that when you are at a place, what is not yours, you don't touch it. And when we talk about the word integrity, You know what integrity means, right? So it's not about your circumstance that lets you develop the right attitude. Your circumstance can destroy you. Imagine you wake up every day, you are hungry. You are hungry. There is work and there is cheap money to be made. And your friends come to you that let's go and do this and make some fast money. That is your integrity level should tell you that this is wrong. Let me rather go and work and earn money. When I was young, in my area where I stay, everybody want to pound fufu, call me to pound the fufu. You know why? I need food. And I was the best fufu pounder in the area. So every evening, I have about 3, 4, 5 people in the area looking for me to pound the fufu. I grew the attitude of a servant spirit. I serve. And I never feel ashamed in saying it. I serve people. And where I live, everybody want to send me because I was very honest to the core. That is how I grew up in my environment. And you know one wonderful thing? Where I grew up, in our house where I grew up, everybody who had a child, after I left the place, named his child after me. Can you imagine? So I have a lot of children, which I later adopted them. Some are in high places as we speak. Every tenant in the area named his child after me. That is the attitude. You see, people will say who you are, but you don't say who you are. People will tell your story one day. Any other? Have I answered your question? No, thank you. Go ahead.
Hello. Please, thank you very much for your advice. I really learned a lot. Please, I have some questions. Please, my question number 1. How can an entrepreneur build again to achieve after failures? My second question is that, how can an entrepreneur stay ahead of his or her competitors? That's my second question. My third one is that, how can an entrepreneur stay adaptable in the rapidly changes in the business sector, in businesses? How can you stay ahead in the rapidly changes, because things change? Also, how do entrepreneurs determine when to expand into a new market strength? When time can an entrepreneur know that this time I need to go to different sectors because you have multiple of companies?
Okay, thank you very much. Number 1, all your questions are almost the same. How can you stay on top of? I love competition. The Bible said in why do you have to be afraid of competition? It's your competitors that makes you better, right? If you are afraid of competition, how can you grow? You can't grow when you are afraid of competition. Even at times, to be a good Christian, your enemies make you a good Christian, right? The Bible said what? If God said, I'll set a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Do you understand that well? How can the Almighty tell you that? I'll set a table before you in the presence of your enemies. God himself who created you wants you to be bigger. In the business world, he has created an enemy. And the enemy is to make you better. If you sleep, how can you become better? And entrepreneurship, I will tell you, to be successful, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the journey of success. It is never the opposite of success. If somebody tell you, you start business, and the person tell you that failure is the opposite of success, is wrong. To grow, failure is part of the journey. You might fail, but maybe you might be lucky to have a mentor to tell you that if you pass here, you will fail. That is why it's always important when you want to do business, you have mentors, you have somebody who had failed before to tell you that don't go there, you will fail. I have many stories to share with you, but we don't have the whole day. We'll find time. I want some of you to go to www.magdanambassadors.com. I can communicate with you from there. We have Magdan Ambassadors. We are building businesses. We are creating a lot of impact. So you Google www.magdanambassadors.com. We'll get there. We can also chat on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook, and we can interrupt, especially the ambassadors. I see the ambassadors as more hungry people who are ready to make a change in this country, in the next world. So if you are Magdan ambassadors, if you are lucky, you will get some funding also from there to support whatever you are doing. And we've been running a Magdan Entrepreneur Challenge. I've never seen a single Adventist participating in that. You have wonderful businesses. Why don't you because the winner always gets $100,000. And you don't participate. Or you are reading your Bibles too much. The pastors here encourage them. The pastors here encourage the youth to read their Bible at the same time. There's something called watch and pray. Watch and pray. Be vigilant about your own environment. Watch and pray. You see, it's plain politics. So, you know what he's doing? It's that I should forget about you and concentrate here. No, I'm just kidding.
Hello, please. We know that you have a lot of questions. So we want to sit all those who have questions here so that we can call you orderly so that Doc can address all the questions. Okay. So, Director, I want to sit them here.
So we can have maybe some 5 to 10 questions, then we call it a day. So if you moderate for me.
Yes, I will help. So please, if you have a question, please kindly sit there. Here and there, the blue and the red seat. Yes, so you can sit here or there. The red seat. So please, let's have yours.
Hello. Okay, so my question, I have 2 questions. The first question is about starting a business. What will you advise if I have a business idea but I don't have the resources, and then someone has the resources and I want to partner with a person to start a business? Is it a good approach? And the second question is, in your coming up years, what kept you moving when you met obstacles and failures? What is that thing that kept you moving to where you reached today?
Okay, thank you very much. In this world, that's also a very good question. We have 3 types of people in this world. We have those who have all the ideas. When you sit with him, he tell you his ideas about business, you're marveled. Listen to me very carefully. You've seen them around you. They are very charismatic. They speak well, they have ideas, they have everything. But one thing they can't do is to do business. But they have all the idea. We have the second type of people who are normally, they are cholerics. They are calm, cool. They don't have any idea. But whatever idea you download into them, they transform it into business. When you tell them your idea, they transform it into business. And we have the third type of people. There are only 2% in the world. They can sit, conceive an idea, move with it, and make it happen. Those set of people are not many. So whichever circle you find yourself, if you know you belong to the first class, make friends to the second class. If you know you belong to the second class, make friends to the first class. But if you go to the third class of people, they see you a waste of time. The third set of people, they don't have time. They move. They are movers. They fail many times though, but they make sure they succeed. The third class of people, they fail many times, but they don't give up. They make sure they succeed. So if you know you are the person with ideas, move on. Failure, as I said, is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. And when you are starting life, don't be afraid to fail, but don't fail stupidly. Forgive my language. Don't be afraid to fail, but don't fail stupidly. It's like you see a tipper truck coming, and you think you are a macho man. If you stand in front of the tipper truck, it will kill you. So be wise in every step you take. Am I making sense? Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you very much. Please, I listened to one of your presentation online that you said if you want to be successful and you're a man, you should get married and you'll be successful. And today you are giving us another strategy.
Wait. Ha! Don't make that mistake, oh. Don't make that mistake. Women are a bit complicated. So if you don't have money, don't marry. Huh? There's a lot of blessings in marriage, right? But be prepared. Don't go and take somebody's daughter you are not ready for, and you'll be praying 24 hours without job, and keep her at home, and you are not able to take care of. So be careful. If I said that, then I'm sorry. Never go and marry when you are not prepared. Make money. Have a stable job. Be responsible. Women are a bit complicated. They are sweet. In the church, in choir, they tell you all the sweet things. But be careful.
All right. Then the next question is, how does it take someone to be financially disciplined with relation to your experience?
Well, that's a very important question. Okay, I can get the phone too. Discipline is one of the main key that can lead you to be very successful. Financial discipline take you to financial independence. What do you call financial discipline? I remember one time when I was young, I had my priorities. I stopped what we call impulse buying. Impulse buying as a hungry young man. When I mentioned the strategy, I tried to be financially disciplined. You have no idea. You wouldn't want to practice it. But at the end of the day, when I became financially disciplined, I was able to use those money to buy maize and sold and made more money. Impulse buying. So when you receive your pay, if you are on a paycheck, you have to move from being on a paycheck to having multiple streams of income. That one is another strategy. The young men in the church, look at your time. Somebody asked me if I should go back into time, what do I want to do differently? I wouldn't want to do anything differently than manage my time well. Time. It's all part of the financial discipline. So we will discuss this. It's a whole lecture. Being disciplined when you are growing up and how to manage your finances. It doesn't mean you should have millions to do it. Even if you have 100 cities, 200 cities. Do I have to be disciplined? Okay. If I say be disciplined about it, not that, okay, let me go and put it in the bank. Don't be like those God gave them talents and somebody put his talent under the stone. I don't mean that. Because I have to be financial disciplined. If I have 100 cities, let me go and hide it somewhere. We'll study that. I'll teach you how to turn 100,000 into 10 million. Okay, who is the next? Okay, three people should come here and ask the 3 questions at the same time. 3. So that I can combine. Come. Please come.
My question is, if you are to be 23 years old today, starting from scratch in Ghana, what business would you start and why?
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to, if you permit me to speak Chi. Okay, I want to speak Chi. So that, sake of those that they are watching us, they will understand it. Okay, the question is, answer question is, they are so vulnerable to criticism. Example, say, from your speech, okay, say, to the yambo more than say, voluntary work. But this is a situation, then the people will be giving you names, a GNAAS, all these things. But I know that you doing that help you to, build your confidence and stuff. So, that case, what should I do? The next one, life without support. We know that it's very tedious and much difficult. So how can I pass through it? The last one, we know that life, God blesses. Yankupon eshira, obrejuman kaho. So I was saying me brewa brabemu ansana menye skana. I was saying menchen ne yankupon eshira mi ansa.
Medasipa. Oyiwa don menye no gan bie gamenye yo bie ba ewe twi no sama ewe gan lo male alo ewe twi minka twi ana. Okay, the guy's first question he asks, if today I want to do business, what business do I want to do? Let me tell you one thing. There's so many businesses around you that you don't see. It depends on where you find yourself. Okay, you are in the school. What are the needs of the school? Look at school. Look at you. Look around you. Most of your students are getting things, selling things. You can be an entrepreneur in your box. There's something, I told you something called integrity. When you drive around your community, you can see people are building. There is something, if you are a young man, called OPM. Who understand OPM? What is it? Other people's money. OPM is other people's money. You can use other people's money to build yourself, but you have to be honest and work with integrity. The guy, Mr. Bediakun, building a house there, he will need a tower. The Lebanese man next street sells towers. Just go and beg the Lebanese man, take a sample. Go and pursue Mr. Bediakun. Now, Mr. Bediakun, I can supply you these towers. You should have mouth. I hope you understand. Pour on him. Let him believe in you. Huh? Then I say, well, how many square meters? I say, okay, supply me 200 square meters. They will run to the Lebanese man and say, you know what? 200 square meters. Let your head of sales follow me. I'll pay you right cash. You take the tower for him for 5 CD. You sell to Mr. Bediakun 6 CDs. You have made one CD profit. The more you sell, the more money you make. Is that a business model? You do this out of necessity. It's your environment. You stay in an area, most of the students want Gary. Can't you say Gary to them? You stay in a school or in an environment, you are a woman. What do women need? What can you sell? Start from somewhere as you graduate. I'm just using that as an example. Asking me if I should start today. At this my level, if I should go into something else, right? I want to go past Elon Musk. I hope you understand. At your level, trying to fend for yourself, you have to start from. But that's a very important question anyway. Miriam, people will call you names if you start. Criticism is actually very good for you when you are starting life. You should be able to tell the difference between destructive criticism and constructive criticism, but never throw any criticism off. People come on your way. God said what? I'll prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. You think it's not wise to say that? You can never make 500 friends without making 50 enemies. So the criticisms will come. They'll call you names. But be purposeful. I'm using this word, purposeful. Be resilient. Because you know the end you are going from the beginning. Be very, very purposeful as a young man. So, Minya, but answer a question, Mimale. Thank you. Thank you. Another 3. Okay, I think this is the last set. Okay, this is the last set.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Otabo Samuel. I was very happy when you were talking about innovation and what the church is also doing to support the members or the youth who are interested in innovation. My one will be a contribution and other one too will be a question. My contribution is that right now there are a lot of opportunities when you go to the innovation field, such as we can see that we have a lot of plastics around, and with these plastics we can turn some into fuel, we can turn some into valuable products like pavement blocks and the rest. And here comes my question. My question is, when you have an idea, because I'm somebody that I've been in the innovation field for a while, is it advisable to take your ideas, move it from one innovation field to other, or it is necessary for you to struggle, then develop yourself, get some financial support for yourself before maybe you start to go into that. Because one thing I've realized is that most of the time when you go for this innovation fair and the rest, they want to see that you have a certain thing called prototype, and I know you are aware of that. But before you can come up with a prototype, it's not easy at all. But one thing I've also realized is that at times, if you don't take care, you will see that, let's say you sent a project like, I want to make this bottled water, and you share with 2 innovation fairs. By the time you realize that bottled water is already out, what should you do? Should you move from one step to another, or we should build ourselves before we get there? And this one too is necessary. What is the church doing to support these genius people in the church? Thank you.
No, come. You seem to know what you are asking. Give me the answer. Yeah, you seem to know what you are asking. No, advise your colleagues, right?
It's not like I know the answer, though I might know the answer, but I know you have been in the field for a very long time. And when it comes to fairs like this, you are aware. For me, my answer would be that when you have anything innovation, try and build yourself before you get to any innovation fair. But one issue is that when it comes to the innovation, you see, as a young graduate from renewable energy engineering, maybe you don't have that capacity, because I was building one project for the distribution line system, and I think when I do the estimate, only the prototype is going to cost almost like 15,000 or so. But maybe...
You see, I told you he knows what he's talking about, but let me advise you here. You are an innovation person, right? There is something called how do we call it? I want to make it very simple for you to understand. You develop innovation and sell your innovation. You are the student. How do you sell it? How do you call it? You develop your invention. Let me use the word invention. You invent something. Patent right. No, there's a word. Yes, patent right. You are right. You have your own patent. You believe in your patent. Right? Be where you are good at, where you can move on. But just like the 3 types of people I said, you develop your patent, you have to sell it to somebody. Sell the idea for somebody to invest in your idea. Have you tried that before? Have you tried that before, yes or no? Exactly. You didn't sell it. You have the idea, you didn't sell it. He said he doesn't believe in selling the idea. When I mean selling your idea, not to sell it for money. Right. You have to sell your idea with somebody who has money, to invest in your idea and make him a partner. Yeah, so what you have to do, if you are an innovative person, innovation, you know something in the plastic sector, you can have an idea, the idea will stay with you for 100 years. You wouldn't be able to bring it out, but you need to find a partner who is interested in what you are doing. Okay, there are pitches. That's why things like the McDonald Entrepreneur Challenge exist. If you do a very good pitch, it will be bought into. So maybe the next time you gather like this, I'll want to see 10 good ideas. I'll invest in it. The next time you meet like this, I want to see 10. We'll do a pitch. I won't speak. When I get to you, just do a pitch. And if it sells, it makes sense, I will invest in it. I'll find some of my friends who are also interested to buy into your ideas. We'll buy into your ideas. I will invest in it for you to grow.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Ernest. My question is on resilience. It is something you have embodied. And I know this because quite recently, the Magdan group was in the news because of a demolition exercise. Personally, I was looking forward to hearing from you. Maybe you come out publicly to say something, but I waited and I didn't hear anything. But somebody I look up to, my question is that, how do I build resilience as an entrepreneur? Because I know there are colleagues amongst us who have tried and they have failed. They have tried and they have failed. Some people think it's witchcraft. Some people think it's whatever. But how have you built resilience over these years to be able to withstand things like this? That is my question. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. There's something called silence is golden. Have you heard that word before? Silence is golden. If you know what you are doing, don't talk too much. If you hear me talking anywhere, it's about the youth, business, I'm supporting women. The Bible said, I'll set a table before you in the presence of your enemies. When you are wrong, you talk too much. When you know you are right, you keep your silence. Silence is golden. I hope you understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc, for the opportunity. My name is Samuel. My brother has asked one of my questions, but I want to ask, as an individual who wants to go into mini importation, since you are into shipping, and last 3 weeks you shared on your LinkedIn page that when you were starting your first business, that shipping, there was no safety net. So as an individual who wants to go into mini importation, what are some of the challenges that I will be facing and stuff? Thank you.
Okay. You are the last question, right? See me, I'll help you. Because you want to know what you want to belong to where I belong. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you. We talk. I really don't like giving sermons or lectures. I'm a very practical person. You can see the difference between what I was telling you and what you were asking for. The difference is vast. So you know what you want, you know what you are looking for, you know your terrain. I might be an old school, you might be the Gen Z. So we have to share. The little I have had before your time, I will share with you. It's up to you to adopt change, because whatever you are going through, whatever you are doing, I have been there before. So this is the only thing I can share with you that makes meaningful to me. I want to change the next tomorrow. I want the Adventist youth to be more resilient, more purposeful, have the hunger to fight. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a round of applause, let's appreciate Dr. Daniel Macaulay. Let's appreciate him. I know that a lot of us have questions that we couldn't ask, but we asked for the details of his foundation so that we can follow and interact with him one-on-one there. Dr. Macaulay, on behalf of the Ghana National Association of Adventist Students, I want to say that we are highly grateful for your presence and your time spent with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please, as he leaves, with a round of applause again. We are privileged to have him here. We invite the programs director to give the directives to the next session. Programs director, Mr. Geoffrey Saboche, where are you? We want to see you. The next thing.
An Adventist student, an Adventist student, a true Adventist student. I know we are all blessed with the wonderful presentation we just had. There is also another one we are going to have from one of our elders and one of the leaders of our church. But before we roll into that, I humbly will plead with all of us to be on our feet and take one song together as a congregation. And after that, we will introduce our next speaker to all of us. Shall we be on our feet? Humbly ask the song leaders lead us to take one song.
Stand up for Jesus. Hymn number 618. It must not suffer long, from victory unto victory is our mission. Till every foe is vanquished and Christ is Lord indeed. Stand up for Jesus, the trumpet call away. For to the mighty conflict in this his glorious day. Jesus, and in his strength can go. The arm of flesh will fail you, he dare not trust your own. Put on the gospel armor, marching on to bread, where duty calls or day, jumping and once again. Stand up for Jesus, the strife will not be
Shall we please take our seats? Our next presenter is an elder at Legon Seventh-day Adventist Church. He has been one of us as we are sitting here and has always been with us as an Adventist student. Today he is going to share with us how we can manage our career path and be the right people that God wants us to be and position ourselves in the right arena that we ought to also be. Elder is going to share with us as well his life experiences as it should be presented to us for us to take moral lessons from. And we are talking about Elder Kofi Okofo Date. Shall we give a round of applause to him as he mounts the podium?
Mr. MC. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank the leadership for the privilege given to me to come and share with us all our life experiences. And I want to proceed on the existing protocols to make my presentation. I was here when Mark, I call him Mark, because we relate a lot. And for Mark, if we give him the whole day, we talk. Because our point is there. Mark, thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. Well, my task this morning is very short. To talk about managing your career path. Managing your career path. And I believe every one of us has a career, whether you're on your own, working for somebody at a corporate, public or private corporate levels, you have a career path to go through. So I'm going to share with us some tidbits that you and I can employ to help us manage our career path. Could it be projected? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to have 3 levels. We look at the focal groups, which are the groups that we have in mind, because we must know our target group when we are speaking. Then we look at some of the ingredients that we need or that will help us to effectively manage our career path. Then we ended up all the discussions. Possibly if there are any comments thereafter, we'll take them and work through. Well, I want us to look specifically at something in Ephesians 6:5-8. And here it talks about when you are working for somebody, work as if you are working for God. I mean, when you are working for yourself, work as if you are working for God. So, when the Bible says, or Paul says that we are to work for somebody like we are working for ourselves, what does it mean? So quickly, I want to go through the text. It says, bond servants, be obedient to those who are your masters, according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in sincerity of heart, as to Christ, not with eye service, as men pleasers, but as bond servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, with good will doing service as to the Lord and not to men, knowing that whatever good anyone does, he receives same from the Lord, whether he is a slave or free. So the point is, anytime we have any task performing, especially when you're doing it for somebody, you must do like we are doing it for Christ. So that forms the basis. So here, we're looking at a situation where you are in a formal or informal employment at the public sector or at the private sector. We look at the scale at the lower, middle, or top tier, the 3 tiers, whichever you find yourself there, we also look at that. And then whether there are some people too who don't work for people, they're kind of contractors, right? Contractors. They work for somebody, and others, they provide consultancy or contract for service. So all these groupings, I think we have elements there that we can share. We have some commonalities among them that we're going to look at. Well, I've put up these few elements or steps as paths that can lead us to a very successful career life. And here, career, I'm talking about when you start work until you step down, go on retirement, or even your retirement, you could be working your own. They are so very much applicable. First, we look at maintaining a balanced life. Maintain a balanced life. We also consider build positive personal identity as a Christian. You must have a brand as a Christian, be professional and stay relevant. Anticipate and adapt to change. Get better at organizational politics. Honor God and bless humanity with your substance. Start retirement plan early for comfortable retirement. And then we look at the prime one, that's the Godfather, be prayerful. Maintaining a balanced life. As a Christian, whether you are working for somebody or you are working for your own, there are three levels of life that you live. You have your own personal life to live. You have your family life to live. You have the God or the church life. You have the social life. All these three levels must be at a balancing stage at all times. Anytime there's imbalance anywhere, it affects your career as an individual. What it means is that you need to make quality time for each of these things, each of these lives. Your personal life, you need to make time for yourself. As a Christian or as a worker, as a human being, make time for yourself. My church, you need to go out there to make money, do this and that, make time for yourself, and make time, good time. When I make time, good time for yourself. Christ did it. At a point, he will lead the people, go in solitude, sit somewhere, and reflect over to make time for himself. Our families, often in our attempt to make money or to get rich, we leave behind our families and go out and make money. If you don't maintain a balanced life, I don't know, you make the money, before you turn back home, everything is gone. It will be depleted. And then your social life, you are a social being. Whatever it is, you are within the society. So you need to relate to the society very well. And your religious life, God holds our life. So we should be able to have time for God. How do we do this? Sometimes we see some conflicting. For instance, you have to go and work, make money, at the same time to go to church. What do? Do you place the money above church or place church above money? So how do you do it? I am looking at you have to set boundaries. All the four, set your boundaries. This one, I won't let it cross over. This time, I will do this. That time, I will do that. And then you prioritize your issues. Let me get back to the set time for boundaries. You must set your boundaries. Don't let one go into other. For instance, you've gone to the office, you work, you come back home, and you still carry your laptop, and midnight, you are working. You don't even have time for your families. You are not setting boundaries. Work hours is there. If for any reason you need to take some work home, still create time for your family. And then church. When there are church matters, you do. When there are other matters, you do. And then I can share a personal example here. When I attended the University of Cape Coast, those days, it was very difficult to have business lecturers at UCC. So they're all coming from, a lot of them come from Accra or Takoradi. So the lectures were being held on Saturdays and Sundays. So from first year to the fourth year, we have about a third of our lectures being held on Saturdays and Sundays. And I say to the glory of the Lord that I never attended any of the Saturday ones. And for some of the lecturers, even when I see them, I will know them because I never met them. But I say to the glory of God that for people who were called back to be teaching assistants, two of our year group who were called back to be teaching assistants, I was one of them. How did I do that? I set the boundaries. I knew Saturday I won't go. So what I did was Saturday evening, I'll go and pick the notes, copy them. Sunday, the canvas among you, I was in Atlantic Hall. I'll leave Atlantic Hall, go to a new site. The whole day, I'll be a new site studying. I will be a new site because Sundays for my studies. I believe you get what I'm saying. We didn't say, but we shouldn't let one cross the other. We must also prioritize the issues. Look, you shouldn't give all issues the same matter. There are some that are more important than the others. Otherwise, you confuse yourself. And then you must also have holistic health and wellness. Holistic health and wellness. Look, at the end of the day, if you don't have a good health, you work and make money, whatever, you can't even live to enjoy it. because illness will take away all your what? Happiness. So you must be able to be very conscious of your health. There's a saying that health is what? Wealth. Your health is your wealth. So we need to be very careful about health, what? Lifestyle choices, especially the youth among us. These days, when they go in stuff, you don't have money, we eat normal. When God bless and the funds start flowing, we think we have arrived. We start eating anything anyhow. Please, we are destroying your system. We need to be very health conscious. Here, we talk about the physical health. We need to be physically active, very active in your life. Mental health, you need to be mentally, spiritually, and socially. All these things we should be able to pursue such that at the end of the day, we'll be healthy. Again, here, any imbalance among these four doesn't make you completely what? Healthy. You must be healthy along all these areas. Again, maintaining a balanced life is making prudential investment and spending decisions. You need to be very careful about the decision you make about your financial choices. Don't spend anyhow. When you talk about investment, that's another topic or another time we can just go through. Right? We need to be very tactful, prudent in whatever you are decision that you are taking as an individual. Then, whether you are working for somebody, private or public, you need to build a brand for yourself. You must build positive personal identity. So that anytime your name is mentioned, this is the guy. Anytime that you have a brand that you work with, in your absence, everybody identifies you with that brand. And what is that brand? You call yourself a Christian, you must have authentic Christian values in you. And here the emphasis is authentic. Not just by name, you're an Adventist. Authentic, that like people can say, yes, this is the guy. This is a believer. He's genuine. That is what we need to have, authentic Christian values. And that will depend upon how you and I apply the principles that the church has gone through, the principles that the Bible gives us in all our ways. And here, we are talking about both in words and in deeds. Some of us, by words, we are Christians. By in deeds, is otherwise. So what are some of these values that we have to be identified with, such that anytime our names are mentioned, people will see this in us? Integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, generosity, hardworking, objectivity, discretion, justice, and accommodating. Right? So these are some of the values that you should work to get your name associated with it. They make known public and be known for your Christian faith and beliefs. Let the people know who you are a Christian. Look, throughout my corporate life, I worked with about 5 chief executives. And each one of them, plus some board members, some board chairmen, anytime there's a program going to be on Saturday, they say, Kofi dia Omma. From the board chairman to the Kofi dia Omma. And Kofi dia Omma. What do you think that? You know, by God's grace, I make sure I live they get to know that I am Adventist. What I did, and the little that God helped me to do, that value, right, was created by God to them. So they saw me also a very genuine person. They know me as an Adventist. I don't know how people see us at our various workplaces, in our homes, whether at the corporate or private levels. Do people see us as Adventists? Unfortunately, some of us, probably because our lifestyles, we hide our identity as Adventists. The next level is we must be professional and stay relevant. Look, if you miss out this, forget it and go and sleep and let poverty kill you. Wherever you are, you must be professional. Whichever discipline you find yourself, first professional and second be relevant. Relevant in the sense that without you, the system will not be complete. Such that people always want you to be around to support the system. I said, you need to be professional and be relevant. How do we achieve this? First of all, we need to exhibit your core competencies, expertise and job knowledge. You must have some kind of expertise that you have and job knowledge. What it means is that whatever we find ourselves, there should be some special expertise that we must possess, that we are giving to the system. That's the value that we are bringing onto the table, the knowledge that we have there. And then we must try to do our best at every given circumstance. Sometimes it's tough, though whatever task is assigned you, whatever situation you find yourself, try and do best. Now give the best version of yourself. Try, go to extra mile to make sure that the task is actually performed. How do you do that? have continuous self-development, learn multiple skills, and then communication skills. Please, the world that we find ourselves in now, you can never live on one or single skill. We are in a multidisciplinary world. You need multiple skills to live your life, whatever you find yourself. So what it means that if you want to stay relevant, don't just keep yourself to one discipline, add on additional ones. And one key soft skill that all of us should have is communication. It's very good, a soft aspect of communication. How to relate, how to get people understand you, how to move, how to get people to do work, right? These are skills that we need. So don't go and say, oh, I'm an accountant, I'm a finance guy, I'm an engineer, that's all. No, learn more. IT, for instance. Now, I wonder how people live without IT. For instance, now, go to even Kotoka Airport, it's automated. So, if you're able to how to operate, how do you do? Though sometimes they have people there to assist you. The point I'm making is that you, the young ones among us, have the opportunity to work, have multiple skills, learn it. The free time that we use on WhatsApp, and please, let's push time into learning some of these soft skills. They will help us. Again, to stay relevant, you also need to demonstrate good work attitude. Good work attitude. That you should be exceptional among the group that you find yourself in. That is to say that somebody who easily accepts responsibility within your means and within your capabilities, you show honesty, very committed into you're a team player and trustworthy. These are work attitude that we need if you want to grow through the corporate level, whether private or public. And again, still trying to be professional and stay relevant, you will have good knowledge of operations of the organization and show interest in overall business. Wherever you are, every single functional area, every single operation area, have good knowledge there. For instance, you go in, you are maybe within the finance department or a production department or procurement department. Then you say, I'm here. I will never learn other places. Please, your growth will be stagnated. You are starving your growth. Make them learn what others are doing. The reason is this. There may be a time that there will be some job openings at those areas. And those who go there are people who have already had a skill. That time you may not have the luxury of time to go and learn before you go and grab that job. So we need to be very interested in all other areas. Again, if you don't learn about others, and for any reason you are promoted to go and head that section, that department, how are you going to be effective? But if you are learning it already, before you go there, you are on top and you move on with the system. Again, you must be very conversant with the values, the mission, and the strategies, policies, and procedures of the organization. If I should pause and ask, well, here students, that if we are to be a corporate world, that for somebody to share with me the mission of their organization is very difficult. Even the values of the organization. Or now, let me bring it home. The values of Adventist church, or the values of the Adventists. You see some of us scratching our head over there. But we are Adventists. The point is that whatever setting you have yourself, right, let know that the values and the missions, and because they drive decisions and actions. They drive the attitude that you need to put in there. So we need to look at that. Next one, in terms of staying professional, is organizational loyalty. You must be somebody who must be loyal to the organization. You have to support the corporate goals and strategies of the organization. Sometimes they may conflict with your personal interest, personal goals. Yet, to the extent that you are there, you need to support the corporate goals so that they will move on. And then confidentiality. Whatever you hear at the corporate level, at the workplace, please don't go and discuss it in bed with your wife, with your friend. No, you must be very confidential in what you are doing. Then, in terms of resource management, you need to manage your resources very well. Again, being professional, you must understand your employer's expectations. Okay, every organization, every setup has its own cultural fit. That is the values that they live with, the working relationship, the supervision, and the rest. So look at some organizations. For instance, some people were sent to where I worked as national service personnel, and the first day they came, one of them, a gentleman, was in T-shirt. He was in T-shirt. So I called him to my office as a head of department, and I asked him that from the gate to the office, what kind of dresses did he see people wearing? Then he came to his senses. The value is that place, you don't wear t-shirt there. That's what you see. That's a culture. So you fit yourself into the culture of the organization. Otherwise, you'll be an outfit and you may not have that cultural fit, and that might not help your growth. Again, working relationship. We need to have a very good working relationship, wherever we are. Because the people you meet today are the people you are going to meet tomorrow. Today, you might be in one department. Fine. So because of that, you don't respect other people, don't cooperate, collaborate with other people in the other sessions. Tomorrow, there could be some swap. There could be some changes. You may move there. How are you going to move on with it? So as a Christian, wherever you find yourself, please have a good work relationship. Everybody who comes across your way, who you see along line when you are working. Next, you must build emotional intelligence. I think this is a very live thing that is coming up, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is about knowing yourself and knowing how others behave, relating to them very well. It's relationship. You must know your temperaments, your attitude, and know how others are, how to respond to how their behavior they demonstrate to you. You need to be a very strong emotional intelligence. Because sometimes if you don't take care, you don't have good emotional intelligence, you might destroy some good opportunities that might come upon your way. They build strong relationships. Connect with mentors and colleagues. Look, nobody is reciprocity of knowledge in this world. You will need the guidance, the support of other people. And one way by which you can grow, or one can grow in the corporate ladder, is what? Build very strong relationship with mentors and colleagues who can help your cause. So within the setup, look around. The guys around, who is it that have some vision that like, this guy can help me? What kind of skill do they have? Then you build that relationship with them. You tap from their knowledge to add on what you have. You should not be that person who is always at your corner. No, open up. But here, don't just open up to anybody. You open up to people who can give you guidance that align with your vision or your mission or your objectives. And then practice good human relationship. I think that is key. We must practice very good human relationship. Look, you miss this, you can be what? You are going to stagnate along the line. So right from the word go, wherever you find us, please practice good reminder. Move onward with others. Sometimes they might brush you along the line. You just did. Just move on, because don't know who you are going to meet at the next stage in life. If you want to stay relevant, you must show leadership qualities. But one of the considerations for promoting people, especially at the management level, is leadership. And this is identified where right from the word go, you demonstrate this. So when the opportunity comes for people to be selected to fill some roles, they look at, oh, this guy has done this, he has this, he has that. He demonstrates good leadership skills. And what are these things that we're talking about here? You must have vision. What is that? What's your long-term objective? Your strategy. Where do you want to get to? And then you must demonstrate emotional intelligence. You must be a team player. And then empathy, motivation, and the rest of it. You know leadership qualities. You pick the textbooks and they will tell leadership qualities. These are the things that we need to demonstrate as Christians at our workplace for us to stay or remain relevant. And then look, one thing that is constant in this world is change. You can never predict change. It's ever constant in this world. So right from the word go, have it at the back of your mind that change can come at any time. And anytime change comes, you must adapt. Adapt means what? Change yourself to see the situation and move on with it. In terms of your functions, your roles, they can change at any time. Especially those who are the corporate and the public sector. You will not occupy one role for a very long time or forever. Whatever is a change will come. Sometime, some tsunami or some current will flow, and you are pushed here, you are pushed there. Please never be scared. Expect it, right? You must anticipate it, and then you must adapt to that change. And then the adaptation should be what? Very smooth. Should be very, don't take long. Don't take long. Look, When it happens, don't say, oh, this is the end of my life, and for that matter, you go and sit your corner somewhere, you are breathing over it. No. Try to readjust your lifestyle, try to adjust your strategies so that you can align yourself with the new model or the new level that you find yourself in. Yeah, I can share a personal example. There was a change of government, and the new CE who came changed me to another department. Well, I continued working as usual. Then at the end of the year, he was doing the appraisal, so I was before him, and he made a point that, Kofi, I like the way you accepted the change and moved on. I thought he was thinking maybe I will not work as I used to do, I'll use some resistance, I'll put up some behavior. No. Because I knew that change is what can come. I moved in. But thank God, please, anything that happens to us in our life, don't let us brood over it for us, especially if you didn't make a mistake. It's not a mistake that brought it by you, that brought it to you. The area that I was sent to, the skills that I had there are those skills that are helping now in my retirement. God be to the Lord. I was very comfortable at my old place. And then I was changed to another place. The skills that I had there in my retirement now, those are the skills that really helped me to make living as it were. So the point is that let's adapt and also pray to God and look at what God will do for us. And then, again, we must cultivate growth mindset. Look, we must know that mistakes are not the end of our lives. Disappointments shouldn't be the end of our lives. We must have a positive mind. Even in the midst of challenges, in the midst of difficulties, let's have the positive mind. That's why we have Christ, we have God. Once we have Christ and God, He will never leave us in the dark for long. It might be temporary. The turbulence might come. The trials, the challenges might come. But let's hold on with Christ and do what we possible for us to do as human beings. So we really need to have that positive mindset. Now go to the next level. That is getting better at organizational politics. Look, especially if you are the corporate world, the public sector, politics is part of it. Politics is part of it. And here, it's not a politics that we stand on platform and start insulting people. There are some element of human dynamism in there. And we're going to look at probably a bit of them and see how we can also weave ourselves through to the organizational politics. Right? Organizational politics where employees use authority, power, and delegation for personal agenda. In organization, people use the authority, use their power, use their influence for their personal agenda. That is politics over there, right? And then, so the organizational politics determines who has power and influence. In organization, even within the church circle, I want to be among the pastors. It's there. The organizational politics determines who wields the power over there. So whatever people, human beings are, well, the politics there, right? We want to know power and then what? Influence, right? So organizational politics largely centers on social dynamics, right? That is, how do you relate with others? Who do you interact with? Anytime we consider organizational politics, let's ask ourselves this question. How do you relate to others? Whom do you interact with? When to pick up your battles. When to pick up your battles. You must know what to say and what to say. There are things that you just have to close your eyes and let it pass by. That's organizational politics, because you don't know who the other person is. Look, sometimes, again, I worked at a place where the special assistant, now those they call it secretary, was even more powerful than the MD. The secretary was more powerful than the MD. I worked at such it's a private company, more powerful than the MD. But the company was owned by the man himself. So if you went and joke with this lady, you find a smoothness level. That's why you must, in organizational politics, you must know who to relate to, how to relate, when to pick your battles. So everywhere this lady was trying to play rough on you, you just stay back if you want to maintain your job. Are you getting it? So we need to be very careful. And again, in organizations, look, sometimes even you are top there, management staff. somebody down there, maybe, excuse me, a security person, whoever, a sweeper, has some connection contacts that you might not know. So anytime you are related to them, you need to be very careful. And that is why Christ or God as Christians has given us that word, protection. Right? It says what? Do unto others as one others do unto. So please, at the corporate level, when you are dealing with people, don't look at their level and deal with them. Deal with them as human beings. Whether the chief executive, the leader, deal with them. And you don't know the power that person down there wills. Otherwise, sometimes you just look at their role and relate to them anyhow. You might have your fingers bent at some point in time. So just go, whoever can treat everybody fairly to the best of your abilities. So what forms do these organizational politics take? Gossip. People will go and gossip about you for position. Sometimes when people want your position, you go, he is this, he is that, la, 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 la. You go and just gossip about you. Some are bullying. Some people use their power and authority to bully. I've worked at an organization where when the chief executive is coming and he enters the lift, nobody enters with him. And he goes to the 10th floor, and that is it. And one of my colleagues had just been employed. That was the first week. He went there. The man, he didn't know the man because this guy was new. The lift got open. The man entered. He entered. Then the man pressed 10th floor. Then he said, the man turned to him and said, "Who are you?" He mentioned his name. So when he got off, he went to the office. I met this man, I said, you are lucky, you'll be sacked. To enter in a lift with this man, you'll be sacked. I'm talking about bullying. People can bully. Contrast it. I used to work with late Professor Mills at Ghana Revenue Authority. Look, Prof will come, people will be there, and then people will get back, especially he was a commissioner then, for him to go through. Prof will step back, push all of you in. He will be the last person to join the lift. Prof Mills, I worked with him at GNAAS those days. So you see the contrast. The first one usually put you just to bully you. Which way do you practice as a Christian? The bullying type or the Mills type? Well, let's reflect over it. And climbers. Climbers are people who want to what? Right on your goodwill, right, and push you below, and then get favors between your bosses. And then we have advisors. You know, advisors are powerful. You know that. If you're an advisor to a minister, to a chief executive, what? Because you have his ears. You are the only person who can go to him at any time. And people use that to play politics. Sometimes you need some kind of a favor. You have to go to an advisor to get to the boss over there. That means you must know who to talk to and where to pick your battles. So you are looking at type of organizational politics that we find around. Credit thief. Credit thief. He will work with you. When the credit comes, you go and present like he did it. For instance, this presentation I'm making, probably I did it maybe Pastor Anseldu. That's why I did Pastor Anseldu. Or he did it. Let me say he was the team lead. Right? Then I come here, I don't know, you have done Kofuwa. Oh, yeah. It was Pastor Anseldu who did it. Right? They will steal your good work and go take credit for it. It's part of organizational politics. He wants to catch the eye of the big one. So when there's any good thing, it will be given to you. We need to be very careful. That's why we should shine your eyes at the corporate for all these things. Saboteurs, they want to sabotage you. Whatever you do, they want to bring you down at the corporate level. Then lobbyists. Lobbyists will try to engage to get what you want in a very good way. Lobbyists is not a bad thing. Look, you must be lobbyists. How to communicate, how to engage, how to negotiate. There are skills that we need to learn. I believe that's one skill that we need to learn. One skill. And that is what I see is one of the areas that some of the upcoming universities, private universities, are bringing up. The entrepreneurship, the lobbying, and the rest. It's a skill that we need. Look, if you meet with an American and sit at a table on a contract, Charlie, you see that small boy, you sign without knowing that you are signing. It's a skill, and we need to learn it. So at the corporate level too, you must be able to lobby. You need something, you go to your boss. You're not the type you're going to destroy somebody. Find a way to what? Lobby around your way. Even when you are departmental head, your board, between your department and the board, at the boardroom, budget presentation is being made, right? You need some resources. You should be able to lobby in such a way that you get the resources to help you in your work. So these are some of the types of organizational politics that we need to go. So how do we deal with it? How do we deal with organizational politics? First, we need to analyze political power and influence in the organization. Look, first of all, open your eyes, scan the environment to see the politics there. Who is what, who is powerful, who plays what, who has more connected, who is connected to who. You need to ask, I need to analyze it. Any environment you go for the first time, analyze the political power. Who is connected to who does who wears what power, who plays what role. It will help you to know how to relate to who, at what time, and for what. Then, understand and know how to handle formal and informal networks. The formal networks are the corporate structure. You have the subordinate, the supervisor, the manager. And you have the informal one too. The informal works a lot. The informal ones are the social groups, the clubhouse, the keep faith, those things are the workplace. Please, they work a lot. You know, nowadays, some corporate officers, they've taken to this tennis. You see, they go for the tennis because so much, maybe the physical strength, but what? The informal relationship, right? At the corporate level, to the same thing. Don't let us downplay the informal group. Oh, sometimes, I'm a Christian. I won't go there. They talk a lot. They do this. Please, no. You go there, maintain your position, and out of that, you can get some good thing out of to help you to manage the organizational culture or the corporate. For instance, if you attended a tennis court, probably the MD is there. You play with the MD. I mean, something said to him in person. He hears it the next morning, you are at the office, he gives it to you. Right? So we should be able to also work around the informal system and then build a positive work relationship across board. Please, young ones, you go to a graduate, sometimes there are fashions there. I advise you, stay neutral. I'm advising to the young one, stay neutral. You don't know who becomes what next time. You don't know who becomes what next time. I worked an organization where a manager who was below me eventually became chief executive of the organization. And assuming I had a very bad to see with him, how would he do? To the extent that when he became a chief executive, anytime I went to him, he still gave me that respect when he was a manager and me. Assuming previously I had dealt with him a very bad, how would he treat me now? So please, let's build positive relationship across board. We need to bring positive. Don't let us go because this man is in power now. You could know whoever comes to the person fairly and then move on with your life. And then still managing the corporate policies, make the most of your network. Please, every single network you have, make use of it. Every network in the office. Sometimes there are some groupings, the tennis group, this group, the social group. Don't underrate anything. Every single network, make maximum. Make time and then what? Be part of it. Unfortunately, sometimes Adventists, we are accused that we go to the office, no. Stay to your beliefs, your values. But those social areas, please be part of it. So you can grow the system, you can play around the politics and also rise through the system. And then keep professional attitude. Please, you must be part of them. You say you are with the world, you are of the world, but you are not the world. You are in the world, but you are not the world. Thank you. Yes, you are with them. You flow with them, but be professional. Be professional. Again, I have a personal experience to share. I was a director audit, and I was in one of the social group, some staff. There was an investigation that we carried out, and the report was bad. And then this guy had to be sacked. What do I do? He's a very close friend. What do I do? Unfortunately, he was let go. Let me do the profession. That's what I'm saying. I felt it. He felt it. But professionally, let's do the right thing. Don't compromise your position anyway as a Christian. The fact that you want to be part of them, you want to be seen to be part of them. No, you must always be professional in whatever you do. And then speak up for yourself and for others. Please, we should not be docile at the workplace. When they are trampling up our right, speak up for yourself. Look, the world that we find ourselves in now, if you just make yourself konyo, people walk over you. Insist on your right. That doesn't mean you should be arrogant. When the thing is yours and you see people to try to trample, overtake it, please hold on to it. Speak for yourself. And again, don't only speak for yourself, speak for others. When you know that somebody is not being treated fairly and you have the power to defend, please do that. Do that. There is saying that they came for them. I can't quote whoever made that statement. They came for them, we didn't mind. They came for him, I didn't mind. They have not come for me. I can't quote exactly. They came for them, we didn't mind, because I thought it was their own business. Then we were left with two. They came for him, let him go. Now they have come for me. If they have spoken for another group, they have stood back for them, they don't have gotten that 10 for it to be taken up. The point I'm saying is that please speak up for others. When you get to an environment, somebody is being black-mouthed, somebody is being, gossip about, if you are, please speak the truth if you know the truth. Don't just recall to yourself. Then again, you develop your soft skills, communication skills. Look, within the corporate politics, if you're able to communicate very well, you become very powerful. So it's one tool that we need to develop, communication skills. In word and in writing. In word, both are necessary. Both are necessary. There are some who are very oratory, but can't write. Some who can write, no oratory. But please, let's work on both. We need both to push us up there. And then maintain positive outlook. Well, in all these things, you've gone through, you worked through the corporate level, and God has blessed you with promotion, substance, whatever. What do you do with it? It says everything belongs to the Lord. He gives us the power to earn whatever we have. So what do? We need to support God's work with our time, talent, skills, and material worth. Look, the position that you have, all that came by that position, it was by the grace of God. All that you have is for God. Let's make time for God. Remember, earlier, I think we have 4 lives. We have the religious one, and that is where it comes in. You need to give to God. The skills that you have, the talents that you have, the resources that you have, you need to give back to God. Again, you must support the weak, vulnerable, and the needy. You must. As Christians, whatever we are, we should be able to hold our hands and support each other. Not only at the church place, at the family levels, at the community levels. We need to support the weak. Whatever you can get to support the weak and the vulnerable society, you really have to use that to support. Look, all these things, I know that I believe every one of us here, your prayer is that when I retire, I can have a very enjoyable, good retirement. 3 of us. That's our plan. Oh, I'm working, all qualifications, work. So that when you come on retirement, you can really have a very good and enjoyable, comfortable. And the way it's comfortable, that yes, you are now enjoying the fruits that God has given you. So please, the young ones, your retirement plan is start from the first day you are employed. Your retirement plan starts from the first day you are employed. Unfortunately, some of us wait until 5 years, then we start looking around. No, from the first day you are employed, you must start planning for your retirement. You must ask yourself, what am I going to do when I go on retirement? I'm going to just sleep and die? I can't remember when I came on retirement and I went home. One of my brothers asked me, hey, Kofi, now, are you going to locate from Accra to Sunyani? I said, brother, no. Now what in Canada and where in Canada? But if we're not home, the point I make is that I had already planned where to spend on my retirement. I'm going to spend my life when I go on retirement. And I've made provision to make sure that I can have my retirement here. So from where I go, will help you to know what to do, what kind of investment to do, where to make your investment, and then where to live. I think I've talked about that, and how to live. How to live. And I believe it's a desire of all of us that when you go on retirement, you want to live good. If you want to travel, fly anywhere, at a point in time, you want to fly. You want to live a good place, eat well, dress well, move well, drive well, right? It's all a factor of the plans you put in place when you are in active service. That's why I'm saying that right from the word go, you must plan your retirement life. And then you need to be prayerful. You need to be prayerful. It is God who holds our life. You can have all the best plans, all the strategies. They might not come to pass if God doesn't work. So please, as believers and as Christians, we need to be very prayerful. So, concluding, then we need to do some kind of self-assessment. When you are working, occasionally you need to sit back reflect about your life. Reflect about your work life, corporate life, your family life, your social life, your religious life, right? You identify areas that you are lacking to make improvement, areas you did whether you can do better in those areas, and then you track your goals and then your values. And then there are some questions here that I'm asking. What actions are most likely to bring about the best outcome? What actions did I take that, or do I have to take that are best going to help me to get the expected outcome? Will it produce good results? What will result in the greatest good? What advances one's self-interest best? What will produce the ends that are most in accord with God's intent for his action? But then finally, we need to be patient with growth. And here I mean the young ones. Please, some of you are hurrying too much in life. Success, like Mark said, is not one time often. It's a process. It takes time. It takes time. So let's be patient, but be committed, serious, diligent, hardworking, God-fearing. We shouldn't expect it to just come overnight. The frustration, the disappointment, the failures, they will come all right. But gradually you reflect, you readjust, then you really move on. That will really help you. Always, let's put God first. Trust and obey him and allow him to be our shepherd in all life situations. Because Jeremiah 29:11 says that he knows the good plans that he has for us. And to the extent that remain in him, steadfast, trust, believe, obedient, and we do our best efforts as human beings, his plans will come to pass in our life. May the Lord bless us all. Thank you. Yeah, there is questions time, so the moderator, if there are any comments, they can come up and then we pick them up. Yes, also. Thank you.
I want to thank Elder Okofo for his presentation. I am here to thank Elder so much. In his last points, he said, honor the Lord with what you have. I was a district pastor somewhere. I met him the first time. That day, we were putting a project for a school, and he donated hugely for the project. For that matter, the project has been completed. Elder, you never knew we would meet here. But I want to say God bless you and your family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Pastor, thank you.
Thank you, Elder. In your presentation, you mentioned the fact that we need to speak for ourselves. And you also encourage us not to stay indifferent or be encouraging apathy in our workplace. But most often than not, there is a thin line between staying, minding your own business and staying indifferent. For example, in a workplace, if I'm taking the school environment, for example, you may want to talk about the wrongs of students. And in so doing, you can land yourself in troubles with students now that we have sophisticated weapons being in the hands of students. So how do we manage that?
Thank you. Can somebody? Yeah, so thank you. Two things come here: the approach and the corporate politics. The approach is very key. There's something that is not going all right in the organization. You have noticed it. You want to bring up to the attention of the authorities. So the first question, how do I do this? How do I do this? So you have to identify a very good forum, right? Maybe there are any fora opportunities to communicate it and to whom are you really communicating it? For instance, this one, like some students' misbehavior within the school, it's come to our attention. You should know who has the immediate control over this student. You go to the person, engage the person. Wait, if there's no response, you bring it up. But if you first of all jump and go to the headmaster or the top of the institution, and there are issues, that person might take it that you have overrun his authority. Right? So the approach is very key. And then the corporate politics. Like I said, look, sometimes some of the behavior about some of you students, they know the power behind them. So you should be able to study the students around. Then when there are issues, you should be able to know how to handle it, who to talk to have very good control over the situation. And again, look, make your mind known. If you don't take any action, you've done your point. Even if it requires you writing, communicating, do it, put it on record. You have done your part. Right? You have done your part. And you use the word sitting aloof. That doesn't mean that when you said it and there was no positive response, you're not going to work on it again. No. Continue to do your best under the situation, and things will really change over time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your advice and lessons. Please, my question is that how can a leader handle conflict or disagreement within his or her team? How can a leader or as you in a workforce handle conflict or disagreement with your team? And also, it is advisable that maybe as somebody will employ his or her wife, his wife or friends, because sometimes some people are not able to deal with some people are not able to differentiate between marital issues and business issues. Maybe there will be some disagreement with your wife or with your husband and home, but because of you have the same work, it can create something there. And also about your friend, because of your friend, sometimes they can even want to take advantage and do anything because she's your friend. You cannot say anything. Your business or your thing will collapse. So how should we go about it? It is good or bad?
Thank you very much. The first one is, how do you handle conflict and disagreement? Look, within any human establishment, conflicts and agreements are normal. They are normal because people come from different backgrounds, different expectations, different values. Some along the line become conflicting. So as a leader, how do you have to handle it? So first of all, you must be able to scan the environment to know what is it that is causing this conflict. Scan the environment. Look around. What is it that, well, these guys, they were cool some time past. They were friends. Why is it now they don't see eye to eye? So first, if you know the real cause, right, then you try to get the perspective of each one of them. You get each one of them. And certainly, everyone will come to talk against the other. But you, having done that, you must have a very fair position. You must be fair and firm. I said, that's one quality of a good leader. You must be fair and firm. Sometimes it's difficult because you have your own man, your own party being at fault. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't tell him that he's at fault. You need to be fair to make sure that the right thing is what? Done. And again, don't gloss over it. You know, disagreements graduate into conflict when they are allowed to fester over a long time. Sometimes the signs are there, the symptoms are there. Oh, and then before you realize it's up. So, as a leader, you should be able to, maybe it starts, please don't wait. Move in, have a nice way, try to identify the cause, engage them, and try to support them out of it. For all you know, it could be something small that with small guidance, they should just be able to go through. In terms of working at the same place with your wife or your spouse or your friend. Oh, okay, let me start with the spouse. The spouse, I know some corporate servants, some they don't allow it. One, they don't allow your spouse to be in that institution at all. And then others, they are allowed, but they be at different departments. Again, you are a leader. Why should you, and you're a Christian. For me, the most important, you're a Christian. Why should you allow those family things to come up at the corporate level? I mean, whatever you have, look, I worked with a boss, and he told us something. He told me, look, I might not like your nose, I might not like your face, but when you come to work, we work, after work, we go home. When you come to the work, put everything aside. And then work, after that, you go home. Again, you are friends. Certainly we have friends around, right? Either you brought them in, you met them there, or somebody brought them in, right? You are your friends. But the bottom line, firmness and fairness. That should be the bottom line. Anytime you are dealing with your friend, get the boldness to them. I'm sorry, this one, you got it wrong. Be fair and firm. Because the moment you twist it, you set a very bad precedence. The others will follow. Sometimes you go, no, unfortunately, our cultural setup is very bad. Somebody has behaved at the corporate level. You want to exert this action. Then some sub-chief will put on kuntunku and toma. Then he comes, oh, he's my nephew. If we sell that, shut up, what do you do? Immediately you let the ask for, he's not in Accra. He should, when he comes on retirement, he will come home. We see what we do to him here. And this kind of work is not happening. But please, let's be fair and firm. Let's be fair and firm. Look, sometimes you can take the action, but you have a way to cancel the person, to let you resettle or do other things that could push in the harshness or the difficulty that the person is going to go through. Please, never compromise your principles because the person is your friend. Never, never, never. And again, when you do that, explain to the person. When you do that, call the person over, Kofi, look, this one there, you are my paddy, I beg. No, so no go, I'm sorry. This one there, unacceptable. That is, he will understand it. You understand it. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. That's okay. Elder, good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, good afternoon to you all. There are two things. One is a question and one is a contribution. But I want to start with the contribution. Now, friends, Elder spoke about those informal activities, like going to the tennis and meeting people. Let me advise you, going for parties are not wrong. Seventh-day Adventists, we sometimes think that going for parties because at this party, they are going to drink alcohol, so I don't want to be part. No. You see, there are people that in your life, you meet them only once. And you might not meet them in the office. You might meet them at those places. And when you meet them, it's an opportunity to build links. You can be there, but that doesn't mean you should drink. You know why you are there, to connect. So let us be able to join those, maybe sometimes the Keep Fit Club, the other clubs, the party, some of these things. But as you go there, know who you are and know why you are there. You know, I sometimes tell people that there are people who your bosses send you for conferences. And when you get there, you meet them, and because you met them, because you are not there to building, so you think you are just there. Immediately you meet there, you build the link. Because you might not meet those people anywhere again. So let us take note of that. Thank you very much. My second point is a question. Elder, you spoke about, I'm a corporate chaplain. I deal with a lot of corporate people. I work in the corporate field. And one challenge that I've seen with a lot of young people is that they are not able to balance between outfits and spending. Most of the young people who are employed in the office are struggling with how to keep to the standard. I heard you talk about some office where they don't put on t-shirt. They are employed, but when they come, they are not able to balance outfit because they need to live to the standard. It seems they are spending all their money on their outfit. How do they balance these things? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor. Okay, that's a very nice question. How do you... Sorry. You go to a corporate world, people have their lifestyles. You also want to be part of it. Johnny come town. You want to be part of it. How do you do it? One, within the corporate world, they have their culture, right? By the culture, we have the minimum culture, and then some that they themselves have set up that they are trying to achieve, right? My lifestyle choices depend upon so many things. One of the things is that, one, your capability of your affordability. Your affordability. For instance, I can share a personal example with you. When I started work, they were in jacket, you go coat. Those they call the coat. You were in jacket, you go there. And then we see people go, they go Marks and Spencer's, US. Me, I'll go to Cantamanto on Wednesday. You know, they cut their phones on Wednesdays. And then I'll get the first selection and go to a laundry. I'm telling you my personal example. Go to a laundry, dry clean, I put on neat. I come to work, there wasn't much difference between the Marks and Spencer's and the ones wearing. The point I make is that you must know how to play your cards to come up. Right? I couldn't buy the 5,000, whatever they were, but at least for the 120, 100 cities, I was able to buy there. Right? So we need to be very careful about that. That look, not because everybody's doing it, you do it. Unfortunately, look, again, I don't want to mention corporate places. There are some corporate places, one now that I know, cross-country, four-wheel vehicle. Four-wheel vehicle is not the norm. You know one surprising thing? He buys four-wheel vehicle, he's living in Chamber Hall, there's no road to his house. He will park his car about 3 houses away and walk to his house. He's not bought a plot of land. He's not made any investment. He's not made any savings. Because at the corporate, everybody is what? What Pastor is talking about. We need to be very careful. Look, if there is any person we should compete ourselves with, it's how far we are developing ourselves. Where was I yesterday? How far, how come? Where did I want to go to? That is it. Don't look at what others are doing. For the minimum one, like the dress or this, fine, find the minimum one. But go and compete with somebody. You don't know the source of income. You don't know what they are doing. You don't know the outcome. Then you try to measure yourself up. It will not help. So please, you guys call it peer pressure. As believers, it should never be part of us. Again, that doesn't mean you should be below there. When people are wearing nice things, no. To the extent that you can force something decent, right? Something moderate, go for it. That moderate, those who can appear nice in public, but then don't just compare yourself and do what that is. That your resources can never afford you. It's a no-no area. Thank you, Pastor. Well, on that score, I want to say thank you to everybody, the organizers, and every one of you here. Especially, I've seen some faces today that I'm surprised to see. Thank you. Pastor Ansel, the pastor over there. In Sinyali, but I was very young. He was my church pastor, my Sabbath school pastor. And then, you know, he was my mentor. I wanted to do accounting. Those days, he was a treasurer at the Midwest those days, because he was a treasurer there. And he was a mentor to some of us. And by God's grace, we followed him. We've gone somewhere. Pastor, thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
What do we say to Pastor? Pastor, God bless you for this wonderful presentation. The Crusaders will give us the next ministration. The Crusaders.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. Hello. The true Adventist students, the Crusaders will be ministering Love by the Manifest. Kindly enjoy. Hello. Hello.
If you really believe in love, show someone you care. Love is all we need to let the Spirit of God reign. Hold somebody by the hand, let him understand your heart. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son.
Well, I know he cares. I'm free
by his blood. in peace and harmony. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love. Love begins with you. Show someone you care. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. All we see around us is His grace and mercies. Hate no one, for love is pure and love is kind and true. Oh, somebody by the hand, let Him understand your heart. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son. I know He cares, and I'm free by His blood. Well, He took me by the hand and He showed me the way to love one another in peace and harmony. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love. Love begins with you. Show someone you care. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. I know He cares, and I'm free by His blood. Well, He took me by the hand and He showed me the way to love one another in peace and harmony. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love. Love begins with you. Show someone you care. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. If you wanna be loved, I guess you got to love first. Thank you.
What do we say to the Crusaders once again? What do we say to them once again? Wasn't that a wonderful rendition? God richly bless you, the Crusaders. It's my pleasure here to introduce our next and then our last facilitator for this afternoon. An Adventist student. An Adventist student. A true Adventist student. Haven't you enjoyed the session so far? Is that true? Okay, so in few minutes' time, we'll be having a short presentation led by Dr. Pascal Brenya. He's not only a global human capital expert and then a youth coach, but also a proud and dedicated member of the Legon Seventh-day Adventist Church, who has always been with us as GNAAS, and he's here today to also lead us in a presentation on leadership as help us all grow as young Adventist youth prepared to lead with purpose and then integrity. Let's clap as Dr. Pascal.
Why are you? Thank you. Can you help me in standing, please? Can you be on your feet? And I would like you to turn back to the person you are standing with. So your back facing the person's back. That's what I mean. Opposite. Back to back. Back to back. And by doing that, could I ask those who are outside to gently come inside? I think some people are quite outside on the left. Please come in. We're going to have fun, and I can tell you that this presentation, you cannot doze off. Okay. Are you back to back? Okay, so to start with, I would like you to change something about how you were looking before the person observed you. Are we together? So, okay, good. So now you are facing back to back. Now, you're going to turn again
But observe the person without saying anything. Just observation. Observed. Don't say anything. Look at the person. From the top of the head up to the waist level. Just have a close look. Do your observation. Have you observed enough? Now back to back. Now back to back. I would like you to change something about how you were looking before the person observed you. Because when you turn, the person is going to tell you exactly what you have changed. Are we together? Don't make it too obvious. A builder for Christ have to be a good observer. So, have you changed? So when you turn, don't say anything. The person needs to tell you whether the watch was here but is here, whether one button was open or closed. Don't make it too obvious, but the person needs to figure out to tell you what exactly you have changed. And you have to tell the person what they have also changed. Are we together? Now face to face. Let the person tell you, face to face. All right. Oh, good. Good. All right. Now, turn and face me now. So face me. I would like you to gently hold your waist for me. Please hold your waist. Some of you have an idea what we're going to do. Can I get a help with the microphone, please? Priscilla. So hold your waist. An afternoon like this, a fruit salad will be a good one. So we're going to have our fruit salad, but we need to draw the plate. And you know the plate go all round. But God has given part of the body that we can use to draw a plate. Are we together? That is the power of God and His creation. So hold your waist, turn it 360 degrees, and when you are doing, say fruit salad. Let's go together. Fruit salad. Now we're going this way around. Let's go. Fruit salad. Now we throw it to the left and we go apple, pear, apple, pear, fruit salad, apple, fruit salad, pear. We need some pineapple on the plate as well. So we're going to go back gently. So let's go. Fruit salad, pineapple, apple, pear, apple, pear, fruit salad, pineapple, fruit salad, banana. Banana, fruit salad. I think it makes sense. Okay, so now have your seat for me. There are few observations. So I asked them not to time me, but let me finish this observation and share with you. So I asked, it's a workshop, so bring your papers and pen and write down this information. Number one, those of you who are typing, type. If you write. You ready? Number one, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Please write it down for me. A closed mouth is closed destiny. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. And that will say timidity and over-apologetic is not confident and it doesn't please God. So sometimes when your hand is at the back but you don't respect, it doesn't make no difference. And if you are sitting on a trosky, on a bus, and the driver is recklessly driving, and you are sitting down there quiet, saying nothing, whispering a prayer, it's good to do so, but you need to speak to the driver that your life is important. Sometimes because of shyness, you could sit even in church, getting up because you think people will look at you. You will sit down and you want to urinate, and your face is just changing like that. A closed mouth is a what? A closed destiny. Number 2. You will never maximize yourself by minimizing someone else. Write it down for me. You never maximize yourself by minimizing someone else. Let's hurry up a bit. The announcement time is just about 5 minutes before I start the presentation, so let's go quickly. The next one. If you don't want something, change it. If you don't want something, change it. If you cannot change it, change the way you think about it. And by the way, there are certain situations that are literally impossible. Okay. If I forget and I move too much, please alert me again. Why? Is that okay? Please, is it down? Let's move to the next one. If you cannot forget about your ex, you can never have your next. But write it down. And I quickly have to add that to the young ones, sometimes your body is ready for sex, but it's not ready for marriage. Don't confuse the two. If you can never forget your ex, you can never have your next. The next one is in chi, so you write it in chi. Say adwene anye juma obode no bre rough. Say adwene no anye ajuma obode no bre rough. Put it down quickly and let's go to the next one. The next one. Never take someone as a priority when you are only an option. Never take someone as a priority when you are only an option. And for time's sake, I'm going to cut it and quickly go. You are who you think. You are who you think. A few observations again. Today I sat in the congregation at the back and observed a few things. Shall I advise, and please if you can follow me. When you stand and you want to be able to pass in front of people, don't turn your back to them. So let me demonstrate that. If I'm sitting here and I need to go over there, I need to go this way. It's always better, no matter how you squeeze, to use your front rather than it's just not proper. It's just not proper. Are we together on that point? Good. And if somebody asks you, how are you? What is your response?
I'm fine.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Okay. How are you?
I'm doing well.
How are you?
I'm fine by God's grace.
God grace in the man. But fine. God grace. Can I advise quickly that the courtesy of voice against tells us that when somebody say, how are you? Say, I'm fine, please, thank you. Don't forget that. We've not passed there. Please, thank you. Continue that. I'm fine. I'm fine too. What about you? And sometimes you meet your lecturers and some big men, when you say, how are you? Or how about you? He say, what are you asking me? What can you do for me? So it's always better to say, I'm fine, thank you. That energy is important. Are we together on that point? Okay. Could I quickly also add to by saying that when you are shaking hands, and I want you to demonstrate this, please stretch your hands and shake hands. The person needs to feel your palms, but not your fingers. But I would like you to look at the person on the right eye when you shake their hands. And you don't keep people handshaking for long. You need to shake and take your hand off gently. But research has proven that there's what we call the dominant eye effect. When somebody meets you for the first time and you don't even know them, and their true eye goes straight onto your right eye, the research proved that there's instant bond of love and likeness. So quickly, I would like us to demonstrate it, but your palm need to fill the person's palm. Gentlemen, come. So you need to go this way. Hi, how are you? And take your eyes off quickly. I'm not talking about shaking and trying to gauge the person. No, straight to the point. Can we demonstrate that quickly? Shake the next person. Let your two eyes go to the right eye quickly. Thank you. I like that. So handshake, that's really proper. Very, very, very good. I like that. Are we together? Again, let me also add, professionally, when somebody asks you for your telephone number and you don't feel like giving your number, you have to do that professionally. I don't have a number. I don't have a phone. I don't know you. Why do you want my number? I don't give my number to strangers. Destiny will bring us back. We call all that nkwasiakeka because it just doesn't translate to professionalism. We live in a moment when people ask your number, you pull up a complimentary card and you hand over. This is my card. Let's continue conversation. If you do not, and for now, we only need one card, because when you pull the card, there's a QR code on it. The person just needs to swap the phone and he has all your details. That's young people modernization of exchange of contact. But if you do seriously don't want to give the number, the polite way to do so is, please, can I take your number and give you a call back? It is more professional. It's more professional. Yeah. And if you go ahead and give your number and he calls you for the first time and he's not flying on your orbit, you can simply say, I'm not enjoying the conversation. Can you change the subject, please? If you continue the second time, don't wait for the third time. What can you do? You block the person. So we don't go ahead, I won't give my number to you. I don't know you. Those things are not so much pleasing to God, especially when on Friday you want somebody to join you into church, and now you are going to ask them to join you into church. So I'm found number so I started no quiet there. That is what normally happen. That is what happened. If I'm talking to someone and you know the person, you want to talk to the person, please excuse me before. Are we together? I've seen that a lot happen over here. Some people come from the same church. We are talking to them out of nowhere, whether the person is out or it doesn't matter. But excuse the person is engaged before. So disengage them before you engage them. It's fine. It's just politeness. So you could see you're talking to somebody and somebody because I also say and it doesn't please God. No, excuse the person. Oh, please excuse me. That is more appropriate. It's a gentleman-like and it is a lady-like. Sitting in a congregation chewing gum. You only chew gum for you to freshen your mouth. But I've seen since I've been here, the chewing was going on and I could hear the person go, oh, Lord of mercy. It is just not appropriate. It's not appropriate. I think the rest of them, I will leave it. You want me to go on more? Okay. Again, could I just quickly say that when you wear a shirt that is striped shirt, your tie have to be plain. And if your shirt has some stripes in it, if your shirt is a plain shirt, then the tie could obviously be more of what? Stripes. It just brings it out. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? In a normal scheme of things, you could say even my dressing is not so proper. Are we together? And if you wear a black shoe, don't match it with a white sauce. So it's not appropriate. A few things that are too obvious to the eye when people look at it is so very important. Have to do with your belt as well. Belt. Perhaps you don't pay attention. Either a job interview or anywhere, the first thing the person look is the belt. And your belt will advertise your poverty so straight away. Your belt. And I've observed and I've seen some belts, and I know these individuals, they are not poor for sake. But you see, it's just a matter that they are just comfortable wearing that belt. Please, when the belt is old, throw it away. Your belt. Very, very necessary for a job interview. And could I quickly also ask that the belt length should not go past this. Are we together? You see where the belt net? This is where the belt will end. The belt should not go past here. No. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I know Adventists, unless you are dressed with AY uniform, then you actually do more than 2 pins. We do not do 2, 3 pins. Leave that for the lodge and the other people or the military. Are we together? But a nice suit with 1 pin, fantastic. Brings the beauty out of it. Is that enough? Again, if you have wear your wig or you have done your hair and then it has gotten a time that you need to take it off, please do. In the midst of congregation, it's not appropriate, and I've seen that before. When people sit down and take their pen, please, Abba. Augustine, is that time for me to start? Well, okay, please, let me start now. That's the time for me to start. So, we're going to go on to the presentation proper now. As I go ahead, a few of these will come in, but you will need your papers and pen for us to put this together. Am I visible? I'm still waiting for me to be. Do you see what I see here? All right. Thank you. So perhaps you have guessed the topic for our discussions. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his what? So is revolution. This is so very important. If there's ever a time to talk about this, it's now. What we are carrying every day, moving about, is so powerful than you ever imagine. What are you thinking about right now? What is going through your mind? But follow me. I want you to lift your finger and point to the person next to you and say this after me. Listen to me. Oh, that's so weak. I need some power. Listen to me. I'm getting to the top. By all means, at all cost, I will get to the top. I will never be broke. But listen again. If you are broke and you are looking for money, whether pounds or dollars, don't go to the bank. Come to me. I will spread it on you. And as you see me today, pray for me, wish me well, and come along with me. Because if you don't, and I get to the top, and I can't see you, and I realize you did not pray for me, and I'm looking for a houseboy or house girl, I will come for you. So join me to the top. We are marching to the top. Follow me on the mindset journey. We are so programmed, and it's not funny. Have you noticed a moment when your parents are not talking to somebody at church? You will see the parents that your parents are not talking to, and you don't talk to them, but they have not done anything to you. We are programmed, so programmed. So what you put into the brain is so powerful of a point. So you look at this picture and it says it all. Who do you think you are? You have everything including God. But why are you limiting your thinking? So we're talking about the brain and the power thereof, that you are who you think. Very, very, very powerful. How do we look at this grid? As you sit, raise your right hands and say this after me, please. I am like a seed. Within me lies the biggest tree in life. I will work hard to nurture the seed in me until it becomes the biggest tree you can ever imagine. There is an inner strength within me that is biggest resources I need to succeed in life. As my DNA and fingerprints are unique, so are my talents and gifting. There is nothing impossible if I put my mind to it. I will persist until I succeed. Failure is part of the success journey, not the end of the journey. To delay, let me take it again. The delays and challenges on the road to success don't last forever. I will develop the right mindset, such that when I fall or fail, I will rise again. Giving up is deleted from my dictionary of life. So help me God. Please put your hands down. So, for the purpose of afternoon engagement, follow me. When I say a big clap to the glory of God, give us a bit of energy of clap. You only clap once. So let's go together. A big clap. You need it to be unison. A big clap. When we go a bigger clap, this is how it goes. We are the team that wins. We are the team that wins. If you are here at GNAAS Congress 2025, you are part of the team that will by all means at all costs wins. Are we together? So we are the team that wins. A big clap. Okay. So a big clap is one. A bigger clap is the one that we go like that. Are we together? Yes, you are doing well so far. A big clap. A bigger clap. So we're doing the final one. When I say a bigger clap, this is how it's going to go. We are the team that, we are the team that, we are the team that wins. So that's the test stage. So we're doing all the three together. A big clap. A bigger clap. Bigger clap. That's nice. Fantastic. I like that. That's good. It's a good energy. Now, if the world is a jungle, only the strong will survive. Ask the military and they will agree with you. But the question this afternoon, why did you decide to be here? To learn to become a better version of yourself. Your mind is set by the conversation you have with yourself. That is why constant engagement on your phone is robbing you the potential ability to be innovative and creative. It's wiping that away. And one of the sickness of young generation now is ability to be alone. But it's a blessing for you to be alone. Jesus was alone. Even in the midst, he said, wait here, I dare go and pray. Being alone, a lot of things happen. Fear is the disease. Belief is the cure. The only disability is when you believe you are incapable. What are you saying to yourself? Those of you who have failed exams not because you did not prepare, it's all simply because you condition your mind that you are going to fail. If you attend a job interview and you see other people dress better than yourself and you say to yourself, I'm not going to get this job, I strongly believe God blesses it. Because you are who you think. Your prime moment is now. The age that you can do multitasking and triple taxing is now. You have what it takes for you to make a difference, but it starts with you. You might have be a company that talked negative, so you have adapted it. And I'm going to advise you that by the time you leave this NAAS Congress, certain friends, you need to sometimes drop them like hot potato. Some people don't worth your time. Friends that doesn't encourage you, motivate you, and friends who always cheer you even when you are doing something wrong, they don't wish you well. Two things happen when you have a friend. It's either your friends increase you or decrease you. What kind of friends do you have around you? Very, very necessary and important. We're talking about the mind. Whatever thoughts you accept in your mind, over the time, it becomes a stronghold that controls you and determines your success and failure in life. This is so deep, so I'm taking my time to go through. And I know those who are writing, you're putting some few things down. The mind is a precious gift God has given to you. Our academic institutions do very well, but I can tell you a first-class student on this continent only have to do a good job to cram a lot of things inside. The root learning have not stopped. You put a lot of things inside and you reproduce it to the lecturers for them to mark, who wouldn't need it for anything. But the ability to do this, it is not only revising your notes and writing it down and making sure it is stick in there. Modern gadgets have helped. Anytime you are not too sure about this lecture, take your phone and put it on record. Read your notes loud enough to record your own voice. When you finish, put your headpiece or your earpiece, AirPod. Walk about and listen to your own voice. You only need to listen to it once. And for the second time, you could see that before the recorded audio, your mind is saying it, but it's not perfected yet. For the third time, I can guarantee you, before you could hear the audio, your mind would have said it. And during an examination, not only would you remember what you have learned, you will even remember what you were doing when you heard it. Don't limit the power of the brain. God has given you something precious to turn your C scales into your A, but not even B. If I tell you the only thing you need to succeed in life is your mind, would you agree or disagree? It's a very important question. But I want you to reflect on that. Life is full of choices, and you know that. And the choices you make from today will determine whether you will succeed or not. Let nobody kid you. Those of you who joined me, I told you a story. The shortest man in the Bible knew how to climb a tree before the tree became important for him for salvation. The whole story of Zacchaeus would never have seen Jesus if he didn't know how to climb a tree. The question I ask you, then what is the time for you to learn how to climb a tree? And the story have a young boy who memorized a lot and went to failed exams. He chose a wrong set. But when the pastor was preaching, he was sitting down there whispering the word Tokyo, Tokyo. When the sermon was over, the pastor approached me and said, "Young Johnny, what has happened to Tokyo?" I said, "Pastor, yesterday in my geography exam, one question I was supposed to get right. What is the capital town of France?" I chose Tokyo. And I realized it was a wrong answer. But today, you have spoken on the impossibility of God. And I've so much reassured. And I'm asking God with that whispered prayer you heard me in church. I'm asking the Almighty God, who is capable to do impossible, to just change the capital town of France to Tokyo for me. So my teacher will mark me right. The pastor reflected with all the examples he has given. He wrapped his hand around Long Johnny and said, Johnny, you better listen to me. You will pray that kingdom come. God Almighty ain't going to change the capital town of France to Tokyo. You have to go and rewrite the paper. And if you do, remember the capital town of France is not Tokyo. And that is why most of you have written a lot of exams. Don't kid yourself. If you do not look at the materials and you go and sit down and expecting that you will pass. I know some few people, it might have happened to you. The lecturer probably was sleeping. I can bet you God don't supervise mediocrity. So you go to school, you don't study, and A comes. Sometimes some of you need to be bold enough and go and ask the lecturer, how did I get the A? Please, can you explain to me? Because I know I didn't write anything on that paper. In fact, to be more religious, that should be your portion. Hallelujah. You will say amen to that, I know. So success is not an accident. Success, therefore, is a what? It's a choice. I want you to believe this afternoon that even sitting here and your mind telling you to sleep and remembering everything ever that will make you sleep, you will sleep. It doesn't matter where you are. That is how powerful the brain is. Some of us look like we have set ourselves into poverty and it's okay. Some of us has accepted that church will not start on time, it will not finish on time, and it's fine. Some of you even expected that yesterday after the fasting, your kenke and your bread will be late. And indeed, because you pray for that, it was. What you perceive is what you receive. Perhaps, if we change the way we think, perhaps, if 11:45 we're asking for the kenke and the bread would have come. The rest of the program would have followed. We want generation whose mindset says that if we set up to do a program and we have to finish and it's not finished, they say, Pastor, thank you very much, but you will see me tomorrow. My time is up. We need that generation. It will get our pastors to be short in their preachings. The message will come. And more importantly, the announcement to be shorter. I've been to a church that do announcement for 1 hour and the preaching is 45 minutes. Lord of mercy. And you are the future church elders. That's why in GNAAS Congress, I'm happy that everything is happening on time. And when my time is up, I know they will tell me, but maybe I will not go quickly. Maybe 5 minutes more, then I'll wrap up. Are we together? But we need to be constantly on time. So when somebody says, let's go, you are following. You are what you think. I'll skip this because you know this. Divine power plus human effort is equal to the secret of success. And this is powerful capped by Ellen White. You are free to make all the choices, but you are not free from the consequences of this choice. I remember I've shown you that before. In the framework of success, we have also looked at it. So let's move on from there and go to the power of thought. This is where it intrigued me for me to share with you. Isn't what you see so beautiful? It's very beautiful. But everything you see here started with what? A thought. What is really going through your mind? What do you give your mind a chance to conceive? Your brains become autopilot. When you see so much negativity, how many of you listen to songs that you actually not meant to listen to? And even sometime at divine service, you realize with that you doing and making any effort, that song keep on coming back onto your brain. The power of the mind. How many of you are like me? When I realized that I stopped closing my eyes. In my days when I was a bit younger and I was messing up, anytime I close my eyes to pray, the thing I see is better I open my eyes. But I don't know about you. The mind is powerful. Don't forget that. Don't give your mind a chance for anybody to walk through it with their dirty feet. It's not expected of you. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, the Bible says, so is he. Let's move quickly. Write down one thought that constantly ring in your mind. It could be positive or negative. I would like you to put it down for me, please. Just write it down for me. One thing. One thought. What do you keep on thinking about? What engages you mostly? Oh, please, write it down. Just write it down. What keep on coming into your mind? Even right now. As you pen that down, I'd like you to reflect on this. And those of you who can write, you can write it down. The thought cycle. This is a very powerful one. Where does this start from? The words. What you hear. So when your friends are talking and talking profane, and you say it doesn't bother you, it won't take too long. You'll be the leader of the choir. It starts with just words. And these words proceed on and it reflects in your action. And the action doesn't stop there, it becomes a habit. And the habit translates itself into a character. And that character is what is taking you to your destination. Your thought. What are you thinking about right now? What are you engaging your mind through? It's a very powerful one. What you perceive, let me repeat again, is what you received. What are you perceiving right now? Let me add a few points to this one. You can create or destroy your future with only your words, which are born out of your thoughts. Well, this is deep. This is deep. Now, in order not to doze off, look at your friend, and this time shake their hands and say, think well. Say to your friend, think well. Oh, think well. Think well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come along. Let's go. Let's go. So your thought and the words. Your level of success in your career or even a business depends on the mindset that you carry. Believers, let me kid you not. If you condition yourself to fail, chances are that you will fail. What are you thinking about right now? What is your focus? Have you noticed of late you have become so negative? And the account proverbs has also helped you to be so. When you know you are in debt, asking God to reverse it, you say to your mind, Kafo didi. You sukre him. And because like this, and you are not paying your debt. In fact, when you do that, it doesn't glorify God. Are we together on that point? What I heard that was interesting is that Obama Kradika, Akufo-Addo Kradika, Obiadika, Masa Dwinwo ka ketekete ho ne kutua wo ka nse nyame anim onyam. Amen. What you perceive is what you receive. Your mindset determines the vision and how you go. So quickly, let me just take you into democracy and autocracy. In the mind, that's what we are talking about. So when we look at the mind itself, we know what democracy is. Political parties in power, and in the next moment, another one will come to power. While autocracy is when one political party rules forever, and they have no room for the other person. With that quick definition, let's see how the brain works. And look at these two images. Same person, but what is happening? The democracy of the mind is where you think positive today. And tomorrow you are thinking negative. And sometimes it doesn't even have to wait for a day. You are thinking good and you are thinking evil at the same time. Oh Lord, have mercy. What is going through your mind right now? For you to be successful, it has to come from the mind. You need that kind of autocracy in this mind to have a strong positive mindset. You have not even started and you said, I'm defeated. I don't like the cause, which I say to so many people. Unfortunately, in this country, sometimes causes are handed over like selling cassava in the market. You are not the only one doing what you don't like. But the thought that you don't like it, when you sit in the exams and you are not doing well, if you do not get a good grade, you are not going to be able to get a scholarship to do your master's. Don't forget that. An opportunity is there for you to do what you love to do when you are doing your master's. So why can't you sacrifice? I don't like it, but I'm going to do my best. If it is not your best, it means you are shortchanging God, because God expects the best out of you. Quickly, let's move on to something that is also very important. You can be whoever you want to be in life if you have an unwavering growth mindset. Is your mindset fixed? Yabusu do obi anye yeda. Menkwan mako university. Ya wumi ekrase. Papa anye krache. Bicycle papa oni bicycle mpo. But the person whose father and mother do not have bicycle is the person who is finding out how much does Mercedes-Benz or Jaguar cost. The mind is so powerful. You can walk out from the ghetto, though you live in ghetto. It's the power of the mind. Today I'm challenging you to revisit what you think. Reflect on that. Take this very personal, because it's personal. Sometimes when I even follow some of your social media and I hear the comments, I wonder what kind of thought is going through. Is there a heaven for us to go? Are we unique in our message and our purpose? Are we different and we are set apart? I wonder. Quickly, as people give up, the comment, and sometimes even the insult, and sometimes the backbiting, and sometimes bring him down attitude. And you wonder. I'm looking for the day when young people like you to go to your church, your local church, and the budget for the entire harvest is 100,000 Ghana cedis. And he said, pastors, don't worry. How much is enough? I'm giving you $50,000. Please stop the harvest. Let's just have fun. Let's sing a song. Let's jubilate. If you believe that, it starts from today. You see, you don't even believe it. You don't have faith. You see, when you say it, it comes to be. That is the power of the brain, which God Almighty has given to you and I, that we will be able to make things happen if only we're thinking right. So why time become a constant factor? Yesterday is gone, but today is ahead for you. But your tomorrow is the decision you are making today. And if things you're supposed to do today, you are procrastinating without making the effort, it will come to tomorrow. But if you do what you have to do today, tomorrow, it's not good enough. The power of the brain. Your success depends on it. And I put a few things down that is really worth looking at. The excuses that we take, what we accept. And I've spoken about it. But I like this one. The secret of the future is hidden in your day-to-day routine. Some of us do not even have routine. We don't even know what time to get up. We get up as and when. That is an attitude for failure. Ask all successful people and they will tell you they have a routine. And I'm encouraging some of you to wake up enough, do some exercise before your devotion or after the devotion. But exercise yourself so that the blood can flow right. You will live young. You will look smarter. And more importantly, you'll be more godly. The day you exercise, I can tell you, things that get you angry will not get you angry. In this country we live in, the only thing you have to do is to step out of your house. Sometimes you don't even step out. Somebody will upset you. How you manage it matters. So the difference between the rich and the poor, the great and the small, is their understanding and respect of time. When a man wastes his present, he will live to spend his future to buy the past. This is profound. It is not so much about the time. But it's just a symptom of unclear objective, the poor prioritization and planning. That is what it is. That is what matters. As an I'm saying, fine, I'm a son in Timmy. If you feel Tim was Roham, if you say, Pastor, where are you? Hey. Okay. So I asked you a question. How many books have you read? And before I go to the last part of the presentation, let me chip this in quickly. If you are still studying at the university, follow me. It is not proper to graduate from university if you do not have a driver's license. It's not proper. Please write it down. Write it down. If you didn't hear anything at NAAS Congress, write it down. This is more than to-do list. It must establish. It's given. Grab it. Full driver's license. Let me add quickly. You should not graduate from university if you have not mastered Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Basic ones. And if you are not able to type at least 40 words per minute, you are still doing tinkwen, A wahin, B wahin. God mercy. And then these days, there is a lot of virtual jobs. When students says, I'm studying for 4 years, no even internship, have never worked before, God have mercy. How? 4 years with a piece of paper when you are not the only one who have it? I really want to plead with you. The only skill that is relevant in your time is ability to learn, which God has given to you. If you believe, say amen. What will take people 4 years to do, 1 week, somebody can teach you because you are teachable. There are a lot of virtual jobs, but you need to learn some of the virtual applications, and it is there for you. It's given. Most of the universities outside the country even do free courses, including Stanford, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, Yale. All these universities have programs you can sign up and do for free. You only need data, which you do, but you are still watching TikTok. And I know students who borrow other people's laptop because their parents were not blessed, but they use the laptop to watch series or movies in school. But some, with the wisest of God's inspiration, will borrow the same laptop and go and learn how to type. Your mind will take you from poverty to glory. So the purpose of this discussion is taking you from poverty to what? Purpose. What is going through your minds right now? Let me add a few things quickly. You should make yourself a passport even if you don't intend to travel. It takes 10 years. Master one international language. You ask how many languages you speak? You said 3. Which one? English. When you were going to school, didn't you hear vernacular? For a better word, they say dialect or accent. Please master one international language, preferably French or Chinese or Spanish or German. In fact, master one of these languages because it will be a resource and it will be one thing that will make a difference between you and the other person. Sadly, we are all bothered with French-speaking countries. And at the United Nations, where I have served for years, most of the job goes to the Francophones. Not because they have any special skills, because you should be able to speak at least B in French. But most of the people from Francophone can speak English. And most of us from English-speaking country, Anglophone, we can't speak a word of French. Lord, have mercy. Because you believe that garbage in, garbage out. But we can change this course. Master one sport, if you can, while you are still in school. Master one musical instrument. Join some debating club. Look up this foundation and association and some leadership that is not falling on Sabbath and be registered. Better still, Red Cross and the rest of them are in your institution. Please be part of it and learn some of these roots. It will open doors for you. And network becomes one of the fundamental things you do. Don't walk away from program without taking people's complimentary card or their numbers. Your lecturers, People can graduate for 4 years from university. They cannot even call one lecturer to give them a reference until they take a car to go and beg and pay money. Lord have mercy. You have what it takes. It all starts from the ability. God have given you what it takes to make the difference. And that is why learning is important. And service, let me add to it quickly. Service. Learn how to humbly serve. By serving, you learn. By serving, doors are open. By serving, I finished a program from KNUSC Great Hall. And a young person came to me and said, Doc, where do you live in Accra? I was a bit skeptical. A gentleman with muscles asking me where I live. I was wondering. And he said, oh, don't worry. On vacation, I would like to visit you. That even frees me. Visit me. Hey. And I check myself how I look. And I was like, but you see, I was jumping too quickly. Again, I've been conditioned to think evil instead of thinking positive. And he said, Doc, no, I want to come home so that I can help you to iron your clothes. I said, oh. I live at Adventist. And true to his words, on vacation, he called me and he said he has at the junction that I told him. And I said, come, Sundays I'm free. He came, literally, I have nothing to iron. This is 5 years ago. So I gave him 100 Ghana cedis for transportation. And he said, no, I don't want your money. Doc, I only wanted to come and help you. Because people like you, I know you are busy. So I just want to do something to help you. I didn't say anything. But guess what? As I speak to you today, that young man, not only did he get to do his national service at the UN, he permanently have a job at the UN. Just the thought of wanting to help. In case you have forgotten, let me talk about Stella. A young lady in class who after the lecture came, wrapped something small. I could see that it's small. By this wrap, I said, thank you very much. Before I could turn, she was gone. I have to announce about 3 times before she owns up and say, is there anything wrong with what I gave you? I don't have much. That's the only thing I said, no, that is fine. That is just fine, what you gave. But I just wanted to say thank you for giving me. And guess what? It was the 2 cedis chocolate. You know, that small chocolate. That is all it was. And I said, what is your name? And after the introduction, he says, but I like your teaching style, but I don't understand this part, so please, could you explain it? I used some few minutes and I did. And guess what? We're getting close to exams. When she wrote the exam, I was anxious and curious to look at her paper. And I didn't even finish marking the paper. And my brain has already told me that she deserved A, and I gave her A. Don't ask me whether she deserved it or not. Because of 2, you see, just one little gesture. A man will be much more than to do. A man will be much more than to do. Mon child, there be just a one corner. What, you become too selfish to please God? Coming to this place, did you decide that you're going to present something as a gift to somebody you will meet here? Some of you have never even spoken to anybody since you've been here. It's only your friends and what the town was Ubia crying to me, and only Wakasan why I will lie. By the way, those of you who came here, I told you, to most of you, you are not the only person who wake up in the morning and something is hanging here. And you are not the only female who wake up and before the menses, after the menses, your body is going on, it's looking like, I'm ovulating, I need some hug. We all feel that. But your body can be ready for sex. It doesn't mean you are ready for marriage. Don't kid yourself. Are we together on that point? So, you have what you have to be doing. Let's look at the success factor. I like this. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere until you have changed it. So I ask you a question. What do you have to change for you to be a better version of yourself? You talk too much. Stop the talking and act. We are looking for the food soldiers. The job have to be done. You complain too much. Sometimes I'm tempted to say that I've seen only one country on this continent. A country that is poor and proud. The two doesn't even go together. And here also, when you say, I want you to reflect deep in the mind. And you need to run away from your setting. Sometimes even your parents, you can challenge them nicely. Mom, you taught me these values. Why are you asking me to lie? Recently, one of my scholars was sitting with me when I was going to Cape Coast, my recent trip to Cape Coast. And then he's booking Spotify for me. And he said, Doc, if you're a student, you pay this amount. It's very cheap. But if you're a man who works like you, you pay this. But I'm doing it as a student for you. I said, how could you do that? I thought you were a Muslim. How could you do that? That's a lie. And guess what I was also doing? A place that they have written 50, I was doing about 80. He turned and looked at me and said, Doc, but did you see the thing? I said, I saw it. What are you trying to say? And he said, but the thing is 50, you're also doing 80. And that's when I realized that they are watching you even when you don't speak. So always do what is right for other people to follow. And some of us, we have been prayed and conditioned by our parents. And some of the things that they told us has no merit. But we have embraced it so spiritual to the extent that we cannot detach ourselves. And we have become dogmatic instead of sometimes looking at inspiration to understand it ourselves. Lord have mercy. You are too negative. It is possible that certain things will upset you, even in the church organization. But please, if the rest of the people are not finding anything and it does not bother into salvation, at least bear with it and ask for more studies. It works. This world is not just about you. The egos need to come down. And start thinking about furthering your studies when you are at level 200 and 300. Don't even wait. And those of you doing national service, don't wait until you're asking yourself what next after national service. You should figure that out before you start. The mind is so powerful and it will condition you to be like that. I know you're very tired, so let me just quickly wrap up on this. We are going home. So this is it. What you feed your mind with on a constant basis will determine what goes into your mind. And look at the other side. I like the beautiful picture. You become what you feed your mind with. Very, very important. There are two types of hunger. I love this. Hunger for the stomach and hunger for success. Believers, if you wake up in the morning, you've not done anything, and the only thing you are thinking about, you have a problem. If you wake up in the morning and the only thing you are looking for is money to go and queue and buy wache or gobe in the morning, when you have not done anything productive in your life, then you are hungry for what? For food. Do you want to succeed? Be determined and be hungry for success. Very important. You succeed as you perceive, because the mind determines your success and it takes you to a level where innovation, creativity, your lifestyle is all shaping and doing different things just by the mind. Your mind is so powerful of a tool God has given to you. And he said it nicely, you cannot solve the problems by using the same level of thinking, how you created it. So if we created it, we need a different inspiration and purpose for us to make the changes. Sister, I'll be finishing very soon. Pastor, help her for me. Tell her I'll be finishing soon. Sister, just keep your eyes open lightly for me. We'll finish very soon. Very, very soon. To succeed in business and career and to stand out from the crowd, you have to do things differently for that to happen. I believe in hard work. Oh, yes. Very necessary. When people say that, hard work never kills anyone. Give in your best by working hard, and the blessings of God will follow. Amen. Your mind is into you, and you are the mind. The old adage say, work smarter. And finally, logic will get you to A to B. Imagination takes you everywhere. I love that. Now you got a lot of equation even when Dr. McCarlin was talking. Success is 5%, strategy, and 90% is the mindset. Everything is how you set your mind. Are you setting your mind to fail? Are you setting your mind positively? So it ends it all in this way. The 21st century of illiteracy cannot define as people who cannot read and write. But people who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn again. Are you learning again? Or you are conditioned, so you have taken it and there's no way. When people say the sky is your limit, tell them people go to the moon and further out. The sky cannot be a limit for you. It is only a beginning and it's a stepping stone for you to get into it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can receive and achieve. What are you thinking right now? And I like this. Shall we all say this together? Let's go. 1, go. Let's repeat it one more time. Who is walking through your mind? Who is deceiving you from the truth? What voices are you hearing? What TikTok page have you mastered and go on it? The laughing time is over. You don't grow. When people are thinking about the what next for WhatsApp, you have become a user. Let nobody take you as a second fiddle. You are original, and God has created you as such. There's these movies that some of you have watched, and I want to be able to end with that small clip. But I will read it out because it is not connected to a sound. Just a short. The Pursuit of Happiness. It's a very interesting movie. And as the father was talking to the son, he said the following: but everyone else do everything, but you cannot just do something. Or people will say you cannot. Not even me. Don't let anybody tell you that. All right? All right. You got a dream. You got to protect it. But people can do something. Sometimes they put their limitation on you. You can't do this, you can't do that. That is their limitations. But I want something. And if you desire something, when you are daring for something, go for it. Because the God you serve has given it. I'm questioning to you, what is going through your mind today? I want to take just about maybe 3 questions. And it's better we do it row by row. So if there's a microphone, please. So we're talking about the mind. How best to bring the best of you. So I need a microphone to be there. Your hand can go on, sir, please, if you want to ask questions on this. What is going through your mind right now? What are you considering? What is reflecting in your mind? What are you saying to yourself? How many times have you been so negative and you see the negativity just playing like a drum in front of you? How many times has your friend even spoken to another friend and is so ill that you've not even met them? When you see that friend, you don't like them, but they have not done anything to you. Are you conditioned? I like that. They say 2 things happen. When you finish talking and nobody asks a question, it's either they didn't understand anything or they did and they love it. So I'll tell you a story to finish. I like that. He was a young boy who also loved cars. So he saw a brand new parked Mercedes. He touched the car. And when he touched the car, the alarm system went off. The owner of the car is called Greg. Greg was walking down and he said, small boy, stop, stop, stop. You are disturbing the car, please stop. And he said, is this car yours? And I said, yes, it's my car. My brother bought it for me on my birthday. The young boy, little Samuel, said, "Sir, you didn't work for this. Your brother just bought this car for you because it's your birthday. I wish." And before he could finish, the eldest in this story, Greg, the owner of the car, simply said, "Yes, young boy, I know what you wish. You wish your brother would buy you something like that." And the boy kept on shaking his head. And he said, "Sir, could you give me a lift in your brand new Mercedes tear rubber?" And he said, "Hop in." And as he jumped onto the car and they were driving through the neighborhood, he said, "Turn to the left. I know you haven't been here before. It's a little ghetto. People like us who lives in that corner there. But when you turn again to the right, there's an uncompleted house. That is where I live with my parents. Please park there for me." And when the little boy got up, he went to the house. Coming back from the house, he was pulling the chair, and seated in the chair was his younger brother who was crippled. He couldn't walk. He brought the brother closer to the car. I said, "My brother, my newfound friend, his name is Greg. His brother bought him this car on his birthday. My brother, keep on praying for me. It won't be long. I will work hard, and God Almighty will bless me. And on your birthday, I will buy you something like this. I wish I were Greg's brother." That is when Greg realized that this young boy doesn't want to be like him, but he wants to be like a brother who can afford a brand new Mercedes Benz in times like these. And if your brother can afford a brand new Mercedes for you, what would a brother wish for himself? So today I ask you a question. Let your brain start thinking for big things. Start imagining 20 or 21, 25. 100 years from now, what would the world be like? And start dreaming and thinking. Imagine, and you'll be able to make a difference. God did not create you to live and die as an average person. That is not your portion. God bless you, and thank you so much for your time.
What do we say to Dr. Pascal?